everybody. Welcome to the live stream of the night for the Wishing Network. Long time no see to a lot of you out there. If you've been to Rediscovery before, or if you haven't, hi, my name is Mallorie. For some reason, I have the keys to this place, and someone trusted me to run it. And whether that was a mistake or not, time will tell. But in the meantime, I'm super happy that you're here to join us tonight because we're here for a super special cause that I'm really, really excited for. These are all brand new faces to the channel. I have never played with any of these lovely people before, but they all said, yeah, we'll be on your stream for Roll for Wishes. And I was like, great, new friends. Hi, hello. And that is how we find ourselves here today. So we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to let everybody else introduce themselves first, and then we'll get into the charity work for tonight. I'll tell you all about Make-A-Wish, what they do, why we're here to raise some money, and then we'll get started in our game. So we're going to start just in the order that I have you on screen, which means Heather gets to go first. Cool. Let's go to Deejay.
Hi everyone, my name is Deejay. I am the producer for a TTRPG show called Hit Point Hall, and I'm also really excited to be here today.
And then Rose.
Hi, I'm Rose. I play games and I write books sometimes. I write under the pen name YR Liu, and you can, Google that if you want.
Perfect. And then there's Nat.
Hello, I'm Nat. I go by NatOneFun on all places on the internet. You can find me lots of places, including over on Roll-D5, playing and teching for indie games.
Perfect. And then, like I said, I'm Mallorie. If you don't know me, I'm MoxxieBlue all over the internet. And this is Rediscovery RPG. And this month, we're super excited. By that, I mean I'm super excited because I'm the only one that'll be at every table. But we're all very excited to be coming around to help with Roll for Wishes, which is an amazing TTRPG event that is held every year to benefit Make-A-Wish. If you don't know what Make-A-Wish is an absolutely wonderful and amazing charity that helps grant wishes to kids in hospitals that have terminal illnesses, chronic illnesses, things like that. And those wishes are a wide range of things. They're toys, they're trips, they're experiences, they're meeting their favorite celebrity. It's stuff like that. That is what Make-A-Wish does. They make the wheels turn to make sure that those events can take place so these kids have their once-in-a-lifetime experience. And we're just so excited to be able to raise some money. So the exclamation point at the bottom here, exclamation point Roll for Wishes, you can put that into stream at any time into chat, and Nightbot will pull up the donation link for you. It says... it will give you the link to donate, and it goes to the Rediscovery team. It'll be the same donation link for all 3 games that we have this month for Roll for Wishes. And it can also let you purchase your incentives. So if you want to help or hinder our players tonight, because you can also gift stuff to me as the GM, isn't that fun? You can grant +1 to rolls. You can grant inspiration. You can grant random potion rolls, in which I have a table on my iPad. I will roll a dice, and we will find out what random potion appears where they may be, to kind of help them through whatever shenanigans I have planned. Star Drew in chat, you're very right. Normally I am much of a killer GM because normally I'm a horror game GM. But this is not a horror game tonight. This is something very special that I planned just for Roll for Wishes. And hi, Awar, it's so good to see you. I've missed you guys. I'm just so excited to get back to it tonight. And for the first time ever, you're seeing me GM D&D live on stream. I've only ever GM D&D for home games, so if I get a couple things mixed around, don't worry about it. I've been reading like 4 systems lately, trying to memorize things for games coming up. It'll be fine. But tonight we have something very, very special planned. So feel free to donate whenever you'd like. I will keep track of the incentives. you can do so right here. There we go. And Nightbot is working perfectly. Thank goodness. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and let us get into our game. And we'll meet our lovely cast of characters along the way. So, I'm sure everybody knows the sort of lore behind wishes, right? It's the things that you hear all the time growing up. You wish on shooting stars, you throw pennies in fountains, you throw coins down a wishing well, and all of these adults your whole life say, make a wish, and you do. But what I bet you didn't know is that when you blow out your birthday candles and you've only said in your mind what you would want more than anything in the world, there is a place that knows. In fact, there's a whole group of people that knows. They're called the Wishing Network, and they have existed for as long as time has even been around. Years and years and years ago, 9 fairies came together and decided that it was their mission in their lifetimes to grant as many wishes as they possibly could. Kids, adults, everyone in between. No wish was too big or too small, except they realized pretty quick that some wishes were kind of big for 9 fairies. Some things were too big for them to even carry. And so they created the Wishing Network. Over years, it expanded and grew and became this fantastical thing that almost everyone and no one knows about at the exact same time. It's across every plane of existence, every millennia anyone has ever lived, every timeline, every culture. Everyone has the Wishing Network. And as everything has grown, their operations sort of had to too. Our 4 characters find themselves as a part of the Wishing Network. And right now, all of them are down in the base of the Wishing Network that is known as the Wells, named after the entrances because you climb down a wishing well to get in. But if you are someone special, someone that the Wishing Network has invited, if you are an agent, if you are a maintenance worker, if you are in medical or in PR even, you just go down to the bottom of the wishing well and eventually your feet hit the cobblestone ground that is the Wells. As far as the eye can see, rolling hills, pristine houses. They had to build so much so people could even live here now. Offices, warehouses full of toys, animal sanctuaries for the wishes that are for pets. Whatever they've had to do, they've done. But tonight, something different happens. Something the Wishing Network has never encountered, even though many in the real world have encountered it a million times. But we'll get to that. First, we have to meet our special 4 heroes that are going to save much more than they have ever known. And we're going to start with Eden. So Deejay, would you please introduce your character and what they would be doing right now, you think, at about mid-evening?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. Eden is a tiefling rogue warlock, and her role in the Wishing Network, she's been doing it since she was a kid because her family's been a part of it. I'm trying to pull up my notes on that. Give me one moment. Yes. So she's more of like an engineer for the Wishing Network and more of like the magical variety, ensuring that wishes are granted and when things go awry, that there is someone there to handle it. And midday, mid-evening, I would say that she's pretty much starting to wrap up her typical workday, but she's sticking around, kind of just making small talk with the folks that are around.
Very cool. As you are making small talk with all of these people, you see sort of a huddle of people. They're all in like these lavender sort of polo shirts. They all have the Wishing Network logo on them. And you can't help but think about when you were a kid and these logos and things didn't exist. It was more of a formality as the network got bigger. They were like, oh, maybe we should do this or this to help us be recognizable. And they're all sort of huddled together, talking in whispers and rushing very quickly towards the main office buildings, sort of where, like the CEO, the PR team, some of like the like vice president of operations, all of the heads of the different toy department and call center, all of those offices all live in that building, and they just seem like they're in a huge rush to get there.
Do any of them look like nervous? Is aside from also like in a rush to get there?
Give me an insight check.
Okay. First roll of the session.
First roll of the night. Let's go. No pressure.
No pressure at all. That is, oh wow, that's math. that's number. It is a 20, not natural.
Perfect. You can definitely see some of them look nervous. A couple of them looked panicked, and there's one that's an intern, and the only reason anyone can even tell that she is an intern, she's this little elf with blue hair that's up in a bun, but it's sort of frizzy and messed up in the way of, you don't think she's taken this bun down maybe in 3 days. It's just the same bun she keeps adjusting over and over again with pencils stuck in it every which way, and she's got this little blue tag that says intern on it, that it's not a fact of the CEO that she directly works for. She probably works for Clementine, who's like the head of the Wishing Network and has been for hundreds of years at this point. Clementine gave her that because people were asking her too many questions that were freaking her out. And so Clementine gave her this button as an offer of like, people will ask you less important things because they'll know you do not have the answers. And so that's why she wears this button everywhere she goes. But she keeps writing things down on a clipboard that they're saying, like 3 or 4 of them are trying to give her notes to take at once. And she just keeps scribbling and then switching to another sheet of paper and scribbling and then another one and scribbling and then going back to the first one. She's having a rough go of it. You think her name is Pearl, but you only caught that once in a side conversation, and you were like, maybe that was her, maybe that was somebody else, but Clementine asked for Pearl a lot.
Cool. I think Eden is going to try and listen in and then basically keep an eye on this supposed Pearl. Who knows yet if that is their name, and see if there's like a way she can like sneak her way in to help her, because sometimes you get overwhelmed. People are coming to you with all these questions and notes and all that, but I think she's just trying to like assess the right way to go about it.
Go for it. You give me perception if you want to kind of eavesdrop on the conversation.
Oh gosh, really high rollers today, huh?
Yeah, things are going great.
So hear me out. Crazy thought even. What does a 25 get me?
Everything you've ever wanted to know about the.
Just hear me out there. We're level 8. Like,
yeah.
They're level 8.
Yeah.
These are not high level characters. I was like, I'm not going to give you all a super hard night. Level 8 seems doable. With a 25, you overhear Pearl going, yes, sir, I'll get that to Clementine, and I'm sure that she probably already knows about it. It's a lot more wishes than usual. I'm sure it's probably fine, though. Nothing we can't handle. We're 1,000 strong at this point across so many wells. Our well is but a drop in the water, like Clementine always says, right? It's probably totally fine, and I wouldn't worry anything about it. Yes, ma'am, I will get you that coffee, and I'll get those notes to the warehouse about the new shipment of toys coming in. Whoever knew those LOL dolls would be so popular? I sure didn't, but that's okay. And it's just note after note after note. But like you even, I'll give you with a 25 that you can catch a glimpse of one of the sheets of paper that she's sort of rifling through, and it is a readout of a bunch of wishes that you all have gotten. And normally the sheet you see is so full, you would think that's probably like a day's worth, like a couple days worth maybe, if it's kind of slow. But the reading out on the paper looks like this has been within the past couple of hours.
Oh, that's bad. That doesn't feel right. I think Eden like steps to the side of Pearl and looks at everyone else and is like, well, I'm sure that I'm sure you'll have to let Pearl go for her to do her work effectively. Right? And she looks over like, please God, please let this work.
Yes, Ms. Eden's right. I should go get all this. It's a Clementine. My clipboard can only hold so much paper. And we'll look at you and go, thank you so much. And then she just scurries off, just runs toward the main office building. And the other ones kind of look confused at each other and just nod at you, going, yeah. And then they just sort of wander off. They're also going in the direction of the main building, but are walking at a slower pace than Pearl kind of ran with. And as they head towards the main office building, our camera is actually going to follow them and go find Athilde. So Heather, if you would not mind to introduce her to us. Yeah, perfect. As you are doing that, there is a sort of like thud that you hear not too far away. And you see that it is one of the warehouse workers who's coming to bring you another box of all of the t-shirts and stuff. And he'll just say, sorry, Miss Athilde, just bringing these to you for tomorrow. Don't expect you to give out any more today. Obviously, we know how hard you work, but Pearl called and said that you would probably need another box for tomorrow. So just wanted to go ahead and bring them down here before the end of my shift. Oh no! Hold on. That is so weird. Say something for me? That's so weird. No, you're fine. Thank you guys for letting us know in chat, because everything reads fine on my end, so I have no idea why that's happening. That's so strange. All right, give us 1 second, and we'll do that. Hold on. Let's try this. Now say something. It's on a little bit of a delay. No? Ah, I thought I fixed it. I thought I was being so smart. That's so weird. Let's see. Your camera 2 for me. Sorry for you all just going and getting Heather's face really big on the screen for a second. I clicked the wrong button and it transferred to just your camera, and I was like, oh, well, oopsie-daisy. No, that's okay. I'm going to keep screwing around with it for a second, and we'll just pop to somebody else, and then we'll come back and we'll reintroduce Athilde in a minute. So let's talk to Jovi. Jovi, what do we feel like we're doing at this time around of like midday? Mid-evening, I guess.
Yeah, so I think Jovi... Sorry, I was listening on Twitch, so there was a delay on my end.
Oh, you're fine.
My bad. Jovi is probably pretty far from like the main office areas. Probably, I don't know, I'm thinking like back in one of the wings, maybe down in the basement, into the infirmary. She is probably halfway into her shift. I guess in the human world, Jovi would be the equivalent of like a nurse's assistant or like a brand new nurse. Like she's very, very, very green. She is working right alongside her older sister. And her mother is actually leaving the infirmary from her work day. They all three work there. Jovi's grandmother was one of the very first people that kind of went to Clementine and said, "We need an infirmary." Like, wishes were getting more dangerous, the world was getting more advanced. So it's kind of a family tradition. Dad works in maintenance here. But Philby just passed her field assessment. So she is now certified to go out into the field with a team. So she's just kind of talking to her sister and like wringing her hand. She's like, "Okay, so I have 50 feet of rope in my bag. Do you think I need more than that? And like, how many tinder boxes is too many? Okay, and wait, should I bring ace bandages or gauze?" You're right, I should bring both.
She just sort of nods at you, like does not know what to do with that information, and is just kind of like, yeah, both sounds great. Both is really good. Yeah, both is good. Sure. And also here's a bunch of extra stuff too. And she just throws opens a cabinet, clears the shelf off into her arms, and drops it in your bag. It's like, you could need anything. You never know what you're gonna need out there. And it's just probably best if you take all of it.
Yeah, Jovi has definitely been worrying about what she's going to wear on her first field mission. And I think it's going to end up being like her interpretation of what she thinks a cleric in the field wears, but like not practical at all. But she does have like ginormous, like she's a halfling too, so like real ginormous, like Boy Scout camping trip level backpack. Like she's ripping things in half and cutting holes in them to save pounds, like backpackers do. And just so much stuff in it that she absolutely does not need. And she just takes the supplies from her sister and is like, okay, this is good. Here, okay, yeah.
It's just a lot of stuff. Like your bag is so heavy at this point that it is, if you didn't have the strength that you do, like helping to carry people into the medical room and stuff, this backpack would topple you over. Easy. It is
absolutely
full of things, like things you'll never need in your life. Like, do you need like sutures and all this stuff? Probably not, but
and I also think like ridiculous adventuring stuff too that she thinks adventurers use. So she has like, I don't know, 5 of those things that when you have to like climb a rock wall without any equipment and you go like this, she has like a couple of those just in case.
Yeah, just anything that you could possibly need. Like the minute you started talking about, I want to go out into the field, I want to help grant wishes, everyone in your family was like, are we sure? Do we have to do this? And every holiday since, it's been like, I got you this thing. You have maybe 7 water bottles. Do you need 7 water bottles? No. At max, a person needs maybe 2 if you want to back
they're
up.
all like Nalgene's.
Correct.
Like, they're good water bottles.
Yeah, they're excellent quality.
Bags.
But it's like, do I need all of them? Probably not. Yeah, that is absolutely the vibe as your sister like helps you pack up all of these things. So do you know when you're leaving?
It's supposed to be tomorrow. I'm supposed to meet like the leader of my adventuring party. We've talked, we've emailed, and we had like a Zoom interview. But yeah, he's supposed to come pick me up and walk me over, and I'll meet the rest of the team.
Tomorrow is so soon. Are you like, I mean, obviously you want to do this, you should do this. But also like I'm proud of you. I'm just gonna worry. a lot while you're gone. So just maybe check in like as often as possible. I'm not trying to be a helicopter sister at
No,
all, though.
I took the message cantrip, and I'm gonna get I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll get a
Yeah,
bird that can send you messages. We'll
cool.
make it work. I'll
Yeah,
make friends with high-level wizards, and we can something.
Yeah, perfect. It's gonna be
I'm gonna be good, right? Like
so good. Yeah,
you are really good at this, right? Like ever
yeah,
since you were little and you worked with grandma, you are really good at like what we do here in this room.
yeah.
And I'm fine at it, but I think I could be really good at this.
You
It
totally.
fits with just who I am. You know, I could be a little intense and like
Yeah.
ah.
But like intense is good. Intense is good for you. You're really good at intense, and I am just not. I was very much meant to be in this room, away from action and things. But you're gonna be so good at this. You really are. You're gonna be great at this. I'm just worried because none of us have ever done this before, but you're the brave one, so it makes a lot of sense that you would be the one to go do everything.
I think I just like throw my arm around her waist and kind of knock some things over, and start like walking over and be like, okay, come on, let's go see if we can steal some Jello.
Oh yeah, Jello. And as you two walk out to get Jello, our camera will follow you out and go find Tansy. So, Rose, if you would not mind to introduce Tansy to us.
So Tansy this evening is having a pretty chill evening at home, but like her version of a chill calm evening at home. So Tansy's a general repair person, or I should say repair turtle, for the Wishing Network. Just kind of like generally doing miscellaneous maintenance here and there, whatever's needed. So she's in her apartment, which is this like cute little loft above a bakery that also doubles as her workshop. And so this evening she's at her workbench tinkering with a new invention. And so you see her, and the ground around her is like littered with like other like half-finished inventions or like discarded machinery that she's like taken apart to see how it works and then never put back together. She has her lovely assistant, which is a 7-foot tall brass robot, roundish shape. And the robot is currently helping her hold 2 pieces of metal together, while Tansy, with a welding mask, because safety is important, is basically just casting shocking grasp out of her fingertip over and over to arc weld this metal together. There's a gramophone playing in the background, and she's humming along to the music and generally just enjoying herself.
Perfect. And as you go through and you're welding these 2 pieces of metal together, you hear sort of a clank from outside, and you know the sound all too well. It's more supplies being dropped off for more repairs tomorrow. The guys in the warehouse are really good about getting you like a pretty steady flow of things. You almost never run out of anything that you need as they drop the box by your door, and they'll just knock, and someone will say, Tansy, delivery outside for when you can pick it up. Have a good night. And this guy, like, they almost all sound the same through the door because it's so muffled, but you're like, it's probably Lloyd or Frank or Joe or maybe one of them. You hear the sounds of whoever that was walking away. And your small friend Cookie, your spider familiar, is sort of like crawling around on the floor on the desk and things when as you finish up getting these pieces together, take your welding mask off, see Pancake, who's now holding 1 piece of welded together metal. What are you working on as a whole? Like, what are you repairing something? Are you building something?
No, Tansy's sort of just experimenting. She has an idea for something that may or may not work. If it works, it's going to turn into a jetpack. If it doesn't work, it's not going to turn into a jetpack. We will find out. In the meantime, though, she's like, I guess that's as good a time for a break as any. And she says, Pancake, can you go get the package?
Pancake sort of just nods, and we'll go over to the door, open it up wide, and drags in like a giant crate. It's an open top. You can tell that the box was at one point used to ship in toys or something like that, but they filled it up with scrap metal, wood, wiring, rope, just a bunch of random stuff, and it's like piled over, spilling over the sides as Pancake drags it in bit by bit and kind of just puts it over in the corner where you've kept all the other crates. There are probably 2 or 3 empty ones sitting over there that once held a plethora of supplies and that you've picked apart and used for repairs all over town or building new things or giving Pancake some upgrades, kind of just whatever was needed all the way around. And as you hear sort of the last dragging of wood against your concrete floor of your little workshop, Pancake will come over, and before he can do anything else, your phone starts to ring.
I wonder who that is. And then I pick it up.
Hi, is this Tansy?
Yeah, who is this?
This is Pearl. I'm Clementine's assistant intern something thing. I got a quick order for a repair down in Clementine's office, if you wouldn't mind to come down. It seems like the window's broken or something, and she doesn't like the draft. She's not even in here right now, but I know she's gonna ask me to call you, so I just figured I'd go ahead and get it done because I'm dropping off a bunch of forms that everybody else needed me to get her to sign.
Yeah, do you want that now or is tomorrow morning okay?
Either way is totally fine. I just want to be able to tell her that I already called you and you put it on your schedule.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no problem. And then Tansy's gonna pull over basically this like ratty looking notebook that's like covered in like greasy fingerprints and everything, like motor oil grease, and then just like flips it to the back and then just kind of like jots down, fix Clementine's window tomorrow, ? Yeah, I'll try to get to it tomorrow morning if it's not hurry.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I'll put it on her calendar that you're gonna show up and block out her meetings and stuff, or have her do them in a conference room. I don't know, that one's on me. I'll figure that out. See you in the morning, Tansy. Have a good night. And okay, she just hangs up really quickly. Not in a way that she's trying to be rude, but in a way that she's absolutely overwhelmed. And as you set your phone back down, kind of ready to settle in for the evening now that sort of working hours are over, we're going to attempt to go back to Athilde because I think I have fixed everything on my end. Very sorry about that. I ended up re-putting in your camera and the audio and stuff, so we're going to try this again.
Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Oh, I think you're muted. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I had her when she said, oh, Twitch has her.
I can hear her.
Oh, Twitch has her? Well, that's great because I can't hear her.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
There we go. No, I fixed it. That was a thing on my end. Don't worry about it.
Can everybody hear me?
The thing I had to mute earlier to not hear you twice, I now had to unmute to hear you once. So I don't know what that means, except for the fact that I am definitely a professional. Don't worry about it. But yeah, so now let's reintroduce Athilde to everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you for your patience, everybody. So I think as this day winds down, you find Athilde Zenithrian in the one of the many conference rooms, one of the many offices in the main buildings. She is a 4'2", very tall, elf who holds herself very proud. She's short. Very big smile, and dark navy blue skin that kind of looks like it's dotted with constellations. Hair up in like a bouncy ponytail. And she works for PR. She has been with the Wishing Network for years, worked her way up to this kind of cushier position, I suppose. And you probably find her at the end of the day shaking hands with some visitors or some trainees, welcoming them to the network, telling them about everything you do, and particularly passing out those nice T-shirts and swag bags that the network created recently to shake hands and just make everything look perfect and sparkly.
That's perfect. And as you do, like I said earlier, the guy comes up with the crate with all of the extra T-shirts, and where are you doing this? Like, where in town? Did you decide to do it at the offices, or are you doing it someplace else?
I think we're at the offices. I think this is like people who came maybe for a tour or something like that. So.
Perfect. As you finish up with them, you're saying your goodbyes. Pearl rushes downstairs, still has her clipboard. You know Pearl pretty well. As someone, your office is in this building. The whole PR team is, along with like the head of the call center, of the warehouse, and all of those people. And Pearl does mainly work for Clementine. In the head office, running around town, doing her errands, dropping off notes and things like that. But she does sometimes help in PR when you guys are like down a hand if someone's sick, or if someone on the PR team decides to go out and grant a wish, which isn't super often that your team hits the ground anymore. Some of them used to be agents in the field all the time, but a lot of them were like, this is my retired life. I never have to leave the wells again if I don't feel like it. And a lot of them do take that up. But every once in a while, one of them will be like, you know what? I miss adventure, and will decide that they're going to go out for a bit. Pearl will fill in their place. So she knows you fairly well. As she comes up and will say, Miss Athilde, I hope your tour went well and everything. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help with it. You see, there were a lot of people giving me a lot of things that all needed to go to Clementine at once with some forms that she needed to sign, and I needed to call in a repair for a window.
I need you, and Athilde's gonna take her hands and just put them on her shoulders and just say, breathe with me. Ready?
Okay.
And I think she uses like prestidigitation to just kind of make like some nice little like flowers or something just that looks really calming.
Thanks, I needed that. It's been a weird
Try that
day.
again. Yeah. What's going on?
There's just been a really big influx of wishes. We topped out last month at like a few thousand in a day for our region. But today we've gotten like 2,000 in a few hours, and we're hitting record numbers today, and we really can't figure out why. It's not a major holiday. There were no new wishing wells or fountains put up nearby that we know of, so we can't really figure out what's going on. But there's just a lot. It's just weighing down on the system a bunch. Clementine's getting ready to come back from a meeting, and then she'll probably be in her office all night trying to sort it out. Which means I'll be in her office all night trying to sort it out.
True. Okay. So I think at first Athilde kind of thought she was exaggerating and joking or something, but then watching her spiral, I don't know if there's a way, that Clementine either has like a meter or something to show evidence of this, because I think Athilde's a little skeptical, like can't tell if she's just anxious or if there's really something going on.
I would say that there's probably like a meter, or like it's in the main lobby of the office building. I'm gonna say that there is one of those giant screen walls, and it goes through stats about wishes of like, these are the types of wishes we grant most in a year. These are all the wishes we've gotten today. This is the kid that's wished for the most that we've been able to like grant these wishes for. All of those things. And as it starts flipping through the slideshow, you watch as it gets to the wishes over time map, which is sort of, it shows by like the year of what months get the most wishes, and normally it's like January because of New Year's or Christmas or like any sort of time like that. But as it goes from like showing the year to the month to the week to the day, you can see that the day started out pretty normal, and then somewhere along the mid-evening, within the past couple of hours, there was just a giant spike to where thousands were flooding in at once.
Oh, so I think, Athilde kind of had her by the shoulders and would probably put an arm around her and be like, let's go look at these now. I bet it's not as bad as you think. And then it's just kind of trying to talk her down and then is watching the wall and it's like, oh, okay. Okay, so you know what we're gonna do? I'm gonna come with you. Let's go to Clementine's office. Let's relax together. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. And I think, maybe if Athilde knew, Eden or Tansy from being here for a while, might, as they're walking, just quietly use her message cantrip to reach out to a couple people and be like, we might have a problem here if people want to start heading toward the boss's office.
Yeah, do we all have screens? Like, does every department have access
Yeah,
to this
I would definitely
information?
say that medical has that information for sure. And your all's has an extra couple of screens that has like agents that are out. If anybody's been injured on the job, like recovery times for people. But as you all come back with your jello, you and your sister, it flashes to the next thing and you see the influx of wishes just as you're getting that message from Athilde that's like, hey, I think there's a problem. You should probably come to the office. And all three of you do receive that message as Athilde walks Pearl back to Clementine's office.
Have I noticed an influx in people injured in the field specifically? Like, are we also experiencing an influx in the infirmary?
Today, there have probably been a few more people than usual. Nothing too big, because a lot of these wishes that have come in haven't been assigned to anybody to go grant yet.
Got it.
Except for if they were really easy and they thought they could get them done by the end of the day, by the time people would be falling asleep, then they would probably have sent a couple extra teams out. But it's when Pearl is saying Clementine and Pearl are going to have to figure this out through the night, part of that is probably starting to deploy more teams.
Yeah, okay. I think I turned to my sister and just kind of silently in that knowing sister way, we rock, paper, scissors, knowing that the loser is going to have to go and do the diplomatic talking to people, figuring stuff out. There's a problem thing because we are currently the two most senior folks on staff because it's late in the evening. And she beats me every time. So yeah, I respond to the message and just, okay, yep, coming on up for medical. We'll be right there. I'll bring my backpack just in case.
You all make your way across town from the medical center, from Tansy's workshop, from wherever you need to be, and all meet up in Clementine's office. Her office is one that is not frequented by most people. I would say Jovi's probably been here before as one of the more senior members of the medical team. Tansy, you've only ever been in here to fix stuff. Clementine is a little clumsy, so that's happened a bit more than usual for other people in these offices. If you're in the main office building, it is normally for Clementine, and it's she tripped over a chair and it fell and the leg broke off, and now she has nowhere for people to sit when she has meetings. And those are the types of repairs that you do for her constantly. And you can't help but think that this window thing is probably she tripped and fell into the window and broke something or something like that. So you've been up here a couple of times. I'm actually going to leave to you, Eden, whether you've been up here or not.
I think she's gotten as close as the front door of Clementine's office, but has not gone further than that. I think she's seen Pearl in distress way too many times to even want to breach walking past that door.
So fair.
She's offered her help from afar.
Yes, so incredibly fair. And as you all approach and walk in, Clementine actually follows in behind you. She is the last to get back to her own office. As you see this woman who is a half-elf, her husband, there's a big picture of the two of them up on the wall. She's married to an Earth Genasi, and it's their couples portraits. And you could see she's actually wearing something very similar to what's in it. That she is she's got, olive skin, dark hair, brown eyes, and is wearing this beautiful orange dress that stands out really well against the darker purple of the walls of her room. Everything's sort of purple and gray. Everything in this building is essentially purple. It's the color of the wishing network. Why? No one really knows. It just always has been that way. So everything is purple everywhere. But she stands out really beautifully against all of this as she comes in and seems the complete opposite of Pearl. Her hair is perfectly kept, her makeup perfectly done. She is as calm as could possibly be. There is not a hint of stress in her body language, in her voice, in her eyes, nothing. As she just comes in, sits down her stuff from her meeting, sits at her desk, and goes, hello? I didn't know I was getting company. How wonderful. What are we doing?
Tansy fully assumed that Ithilde's message was about the window and was like, oh, I guess this window thing's like more urgent than I thought. And so it just like fully walks in and then is immediately at the window fixing the latch.
Oh, I didn't even know that was broken. Thank you, Tansy. Thank you, Pearl, for calling. Tansy, I assume. And Pearl just sort of nods. Says nothing but nods.
I think Pearl has something that she needs to talk to you about, and I'm here as some moral support. Pearl, you take this away.
Yeah. I'm here because I lost rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I mean, I called them. You'll understand why. Just go ahead.
Okay, sounds good. Go for it, Pearl. And she just sort of looks at her, and no roll necessary. You fully get the vibe that the pressure that Pearl is under is not pressure that Clementine has put on Pearl. This is Pearl's pressure on herself. As Clementine is like maybe the most chill boss you've ever seen anyone have. And she's been doing this for hundreds of years. Nothing could possibly make her panic. But she watches as Pearl's eyes get really big for a second and goes, so there's just been a really big influx of wishes today, and we can't really figure out why. I don't have any like construction of wishing wells, and there's no like a holiday where anybody makes a wish or a goal for themselves. So can't really figure out what's happening, but I'm just a little confused, and we gotta figure out who to put on what team and get resources out pretty quick if we're gonna fill them. And she'll just take her clipboard and hand it over to Clementine, and Clementine's like with a furrowed brow reads through all of the numbers. Huh. Interesting. And as she says the word interesting, all of the lights go out.
Oh.
He's immediately like, I didn't do that.
Except dark vision.
I think
the window's not even connected to the power grid. I'm pretty sure I didn't do that.
I mean, I can see, and I don't know what did that. There's nothing else in the. I think I'll go to the door and like open the door. Is the hallway and everything dark too?
Everything is dark. And like in the hallway, every other office, and Tansy out the window, you can't see a single light on any building in the entirety of the wells. Everything, because it's getting to be later and later in the day, the sky is turning dark, and really the only light you can see now is from the moon and some stars.
I don't want this backpack to be like my Deus Ex Machina, but is it fair that I would have a flashlight in there?
Oh, absolutely.
The overly prepared.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I pull
After
out
the
like
conversation you and your sister just
lantern
had,
type situation.
Yeah.
So I've got a little lantern though. I'm just like immediately. I'm like, okay, backpack. Okay.
Get you being
out missing a beat.
Excellent.
Thank you for the light, Jovi. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to do here. Folks, in my 400 years or so of running this place, we've never had a power outage. Ever.
I think
I think
Go ahead.
I was gonna look to the engineers. Yeah.
Yep.
All heads swivel to Eden.
Eden's like, oh god. Eden looks at Tansy and is like, well, do you know where the power grid is? Maybe it could be electrical before we get to the magical capabilities of power.
Maybe my mom knows? And Tansy's gonna take out her phone and see if there's reception to try to call her mom.
There's nothing down here. The like sort of phone services that you all have down here are run off of the power grid as well, because you are essentially underground. Like you have to go down through a wishing well to get here. And so for there to be a whole open sky and stuff, it must be magically powered by something. Clementine, at the very least, has no idea and has never explained it to anybody because she has no idea. Those things are very much well above her head. She hires the best of the best for that, like Eden. So she's just like, Dahlia.
Well, has
Okay,
Eden seen anything like this happen before? Like, not to the big scale of a power outage.
Yeah, you've never.
That's what I was going to
seen
say. Have we
this.
ever had something like this in medical?
Yeah.
Because that would probably have like its own power source.
You've never seen anything like this.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so good news, bad news. Bad news, I can't call my mom because she's on vacation right now in Miami and we don't have phone service. Good news, your window is fixed.
I'm making a t-shirt that says I'm on vacation in magical Miami immediately. Because I want one.
My dad works in maintenance. Could I? And he's still here. You know, we can't call anybody. In Clementine, you don't know. Should we go ask him? Like, or who should we go ask? Like, who would you recommend?
I mean, you can ask him if you want. I can give you the key to the power banks. I just don't necessarily know how it works, but I am technically the person that has the key.
I can just look around again because I'm like,
That would be
I'm the
like a
medic.
start.
Yeah. Here, I'm sure this is fine. You four are absolutely up to fixing it. You guys can fix it. Me and Pearl will assemble the teams, and you four can go fix the power. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll definitely work out. We just have to make sure that it's back on by morning because the kids are gonna fall asleep soon in the area, and that's where dreams happen, and then they wake up and they make the wishes from the dreams, and that's why our numbers spike every single morning. I'm sure it's fine.
That's
I
how it's
wouldn't. It's totally gonna be fine. Like, this is the first time ever you think you've seen Clementine sweat. Ever.
I'll hold my hand out for the key and just kind of re-say what she said, but be like, yes, these three, can definitely go fix it, and I will go along for moral support.
I'll go along in case any of you electrocute yourselves, I guess.
Sure, perfect. Whatever teamwork makes the dream work, the wishes work. We'll work on it. We'll put a new slogan on a t-shirt to celebrate this historic occasion. I don't really know. But she turns, and over by this picture of her and her husband is a bookshelf. She pulls a book off of the shelf that looks like a giant tome. It's wrapped in green leather with gold embossed on it. She opens it up and takes out just a separate sheet of paper that's sort of been living in it. She unfolds that on her desk and then goes back over to the picture, puts her hand on the side of the frame, and it swings open on a hinge with a small vault behind it. She opens it pretty quickly, pulls out a ring of keys, kind of looks at it, and it is truly like a maintenance ring of keys. It has 100 on them. They all look slightly different and slightly weird. None of them look like a traditional key. It's like, this one looks like it opens a 100-year-old chest, and this one looks just like a triangle, and she has no explanation to what it opens. I don't know much about what's on these keys. I'm gonna be honest. They handed them to me when I took over, and I sort of forgot to ask what any of them opened up, except for this one, because I thought it looked cool. And she takes off the ring, this gold key that's really ornate, and has a small light bulb on it engraved in the top, and she will hand it to Ethilde. This one I know opens the gates to the power banks. Just fair warning, they were sort of designed to keep people out, because whoever built these forever ago, again, not me, probably should have looked into this though at some point over the past 400 or so years. It's designed sort of like a little puzzle thing to keep people out, because everybody was so worried that one day someone would try to get in and shut off the power, because that would ruin us. But we didn't really think about people needing to get in.
Like crosswords?
That'd be great.
Or like a maze?
I don't really know. I've never been.
Doesn't matter. We'll be great. It's gonna be great.
I'm sure it's probably
It's gonna
fine.
be great.
You're so positive.
Yeah, everything will be totally fine. I would lend you Pearl, but I need Pearl. And Pearl has the biggest eyes. Like, please don't make me go.
I don't
I
need
have taken-
Pearl's done enough.
I have taken lavender essential oil out of my bag, and I've gone over to both Clementine and Pearl and just grabbed their wrist and put a little bit on here. It's okay, just we're gonna be okay. We're all gonna be good. We got it. You guys, you do what you do, and we'll do what we all do.
Clementine is like doing this like breathing thing, like seems very meditative, very like yoga based, her breathing. And Pearl has her wrist up to her nose and is inhaling like her life depends on it. Like this lavender will be what saves her. She's so far gone, but she does seem very thankful that she does not have to go anywhere else. And with that, with the key, she gives you this piece of paper that she's folded out that's a map of town that kind of gives you a little side road route to be able to get to the entrance of the power banks. Hands you that and you're off. So you all can head toward the power bank. Is there anything anybody needs to do before we get to the gate?
Would we pass my dad's maintenance shop on the way?
We certainly could.
Not to do anything even like roleplay heavy, but just to stop and be like, hey, what do you know about electrical stuff? Do you have anything that might be helpful? Tips, rubber gloves, rubber boots.
He looks at you for a second and goes, we run on electricity?
Okay, and I halfling tippy toe and okay, thanks, Dad. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. It's like practice for my new adventuring party.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great.
Be safe,
love you.
Jody. Love you lots.
I'll see you for lasagna night.
Yeah, lasagna night. We gotta go pick up more lasagna for lasagna night. It's like the last thing you hear as you all head out the door. He's like starts mumbling to himself in that very dad way. And he will, or you all will carry on. And as you all do approach the gate to the power bank, it's kind of off in this back corner that no one really needs to traverse out here unless their house is out here, which there are only a couple that are sort of this far away from the office. But as you all look, this one should have been really clear to Clementine when she looked at this key and then looked at this gate and went, yeah, they go together, because it's the same sort of bronzy gold color the gate is, and it has the light bulb engraved in it. And you don't know if that was the original design or if they did that to make life easier on Clementine when they were getting ready to make her start running everything. But this one, clear as day. Like, there's a giant keyhole right in the middle of this beautiful ornate gate with this light bulb on it. And beyond it, what you see looks like a cave.
I feel like that's not surprising, given that we live underground in the tunnels. I think I'm still rocking with the lantern.
It is your only source of light. Like, your dad didn't have any power. No, like, every house you've stopped by is completely dark.
I think I'm checking for traps, but actually have no idea how to do that. So I'm just kind of looking around for like I don't know, Legends of the Hidden Temple level traps, like push plates and darts in the walls.
Yeah, give me a roll about it. Perception, I guess. Sure.
That makes sense to me.
I think Athilde takes the key and just hands it to Eden, and it's like, all yours.
Oh, these are hard to read. I'll have to get different ones. 6 + 4 is 10.
Cool. Yeah, you don't see anything. This looks very much like a normal gate as far as you are aware.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Eden gets the key and just looks to everyone else like, well, there's no harm in just putting the key in the hole. It's like unlocking a door.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. And then I'll take a step back when I say that.
A big setback. Maybe 2.
Go for it.
Yeah. And Eden's gonna unlock the door. The gate, rather.
Yeah. As you turn the key, hear the click, the gate itself opens very easily. A bit surprising considering no one really comes down here, at least not that Clementine seems aware of, and she seems to have the only key. But the gate itself swings open naturally.
Ta-da!
I think Jovi sort of now moved to the back because she wasn't the one unlocking it. And as you guys go to like start moving forward through the gate, you notice that she is just like very quietly pulled out a small mace, and it's just kind of like, let's go. Let's we got this.
Yep. What? Why?
Love it.
Yeah.
Why what?
This is your first time doing something.
In this room? Isn't it all of our first times in this room?
Oh,
I've never been in the field. No, I go in the field for the first time tomorrow. So, I shouldn't swing this. Hold on. Okay. I'm cool. I'm good. I'm prepared. It's fine.
Deep breath. Okay.
Tansy's gonna
there's
put
actually
on.
peppermint on there, and I forgot.
Good stuff.
Tansy's gonna put on her goggles.
I'm sure it's great. And Thildy will start to walk forward, looking kind of carefully, like walking like slowly but steadily, looking around.
As you do, you all approach the entrance to this cave, and as you are about to enter, I actually think that's the perfect place to take our little 10-minute break. So, to all of you out in the audience, thank you so much for watching so far. I hope you're enjoying. Please remember that you can make a donation at any time using !roll for wishes in the chat, and it will give you the Tiltify link. Or if you're on a computer, you can scroll down to the About banners, and there's one that says Roll for Wishes donation. And it will also link you directly to Tiltify. If you do decide to donate and you forget to add the note as to what you want or who you want it to go to with your donation, you can just put it in chat and I'll see it and I'll make sure that it gets all taken care of. But with that, we're going to take a 10-minute break, go to the bathroom, grab a snack, grab a drink, and meet us back here because you're going to want to see what's in the cave. Buddy, we're back. Hope you guys had a nice little break. We did too. The technical difficulty with the Tiltify, where it wasn't showing you the incentives, is now fixed. For some reason, it decided to not display any of the incentives, so I just went back, reset all of those, and now they should be good to go. So if you decide to make a donation to Make-A-Wish, which we would obviously appreciate you doing, but if you do not have the means to do so, please go share a link to the game so other people can pop in, donate if they can, hopefully enjoy some D&D. When you go to donate, it should now give you a list of incentives. So the +1 to a roll will have all of our names beside of it, so it'll let you know you can pick who it goes to. You can also do the same for inspiration, and then random potion, random magic item, and wild magic surge will all just populate randomly kind of for whoever either needs it, wants it, or whoever it happens to happen to, because we're getting ready to wander into something that no one has ever seen before, that legitimately no one in the Wishing Network has stepped foot in since this was all built to take care of it, because they built it to keep people out, never really thinking about the fact that someone might need to go in someday. A bit of a learning curve on some people's parts. And now, our 4 wonderful adventurers who have successfully opened the gate to the power banks will now get to step into the gate for the first time and see what was built all of those years ago to try to protect the power source so the Wishing Network didn't fall apart, in hopes that they can repair it by morning to get those wishes taken care of for any of the kids or adults that may have them. So as we stumble back in to everything, I'd like to know what order you're entering this cave, just out of curiosity.
Tansy will go first because she's got like her goggles that she's DIY to have night vision. And she's got a pancake next to her.
Awesome.
Eden will go right behind her, actually.
Okay.
I'll go next with the lantern.
Okay.
I will happily bring up the rear.
Perfect. So we've got Tansy, Eden, Jovi, and Athilde. You all have to kind of go in a single file line because the entrance to this cave is a little cramped. It seems like, from the lack of years of anyone being in here, that some of the rocks have sort of crumbled in from the ceiling or the walls, kind of made everything a little harder to navigate. But once all of you are in, including Pancake, you see just a pretty normal stone room. The floor is mostly stone and dirt. What you figure probably had like a nicer stone pattern to it at one point has like bits of dirt and little weeds and things plucking out from in between them. But the walls themselves are pretty solid rock. So is the ceiling, with a few stalagmites and stalactites in a few places. On the far side of this room, which isn't very big in the first place, maybe 15 feet or so, give or take, from where you stand at the entrance to the next door, it's a wooden sort of door, curved at the top, made of slats with metal bolting across them. There is no place for a key to be put in, just a handle that's sort of this rusted metal, and there are 4 orbs sort of encased in the door, all of which are just clear. You can see wood on the other side of them, so it seems like they're not all the way, they don't go all the way through the door, but are sort of placed within it. In the middle of the room are 4 pedestals, also all made of stone, but it's a different type than what this cave itself is made out of. You think from the way they're crafted, they were probably made in one of the workshops here, way back when. Each holds a unlit candle, and above the door to the next, what you assume is the next room, just says, "Every wish will light the way."
Aww.
How big are the orbs? Baseball, softball, basketball?
Yeah, like baseball size, probably.
Before we do anything, Tansy gives everybody some hand sanitizer, and I'm gonna say we have like magic medicine. I give them like a little patch that is an emergency tetanus shot.
Perfect. Just in case, you never know.
Just in case.
Dead rust.
I think while you're doing that, my inclination would be to cast detect magic and see if I can figure out what in here might be a place to focus on.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so you see Athilde just kind of bring a hand up to a necklace that she wears and just kind of go like this with her fingers and cast detect magic. See if there's what is magical within 30 feet of me.
Pretty much this entire room is within 30 feet of you, which helps quite a bit. There is some sort of magic that is of a pretty neutral variety on all of the candles and the orbs within the door, but not the door or the walls or the pillars, just the candles and the orbs. With like a little bit of like glistening magic on the sign itself with the words, not that it is magical, but that magic has touched it a lot.
I think the one clarifying thing that she'd be looking for is like, does the magic of the orbs seem to match the magic of the candles?
Yes.
Or is it different? Okay.
No, seems very much the same.
She'll just kind of point out to everybody, it's like, something with those, and something with these. I just feel really proud of herself.
Before anything pops off here, I'm going to go ahead and cast Bless on the 3 of you.
Cool.
Is that the tetanus shot? That was our bless.
Famously.
And I think I'm going to look at our other 2 and be like, I've never seen orbs like this in medical. Is this something that you've seen? Do we use these to like power different things, or are the any thoughts?
Tansy's mostly looking at the door right now, and she's just gonna, while like everything else is happening, she's just gonna use Mage Hand to try to open the door. Just straight up.
Sure, you can use Mage Hand. So what does your Mage Hand look like?
Tansy's Mage Hand is just, it's like the same shade of green as, like it's translucent, and it's the same shade of green as her shell, and it just looks like her hand.
Perfect. You watch as your Mage Hand travels across the room. It goes to pull the handle of the door open, and as it does, the door does swing open, but there is just stone behind it.
Oh.
That's a problem.
Rude.
I think Jovi is kind of like watching and observing, and like this is the first time I feel it's like, oh yeah, Mage Hand, I can do that. And casts her Mage Hand, which does look like her hand, but is wearing a blue rubber glove.
Gotta stay safe.
The 4 orbs, are they in any sort of pattern? Like, are they left to right or in a square or anything of
They
note?
follow the curve at the top of the door, so they're sort of in a small arch.
All right, I'm gonna have my Mage Hand poke the one farthest to Jovi's left.
Cool. So as it does, it meets some resistance. It seems like, from what you can tell from the other side of the room and the bits that your Mage Hand can glean, that they're like glass or something similar to that.
Okay.
But they don't give in any way. They're very
feel like I can
settled in
see
the
them?
door.
Does it feel like they come out like easily, like without forcing them? Does it
No.
feel like they pop out? No. Okay.
I
What does the
I don't
thing
think
above the door
Ithilde-
say?
Every wish will light the way.
don't think Ithilde has a real reason for this, but when she sees the other 2 Mage Hands, she'll be like, oh, well, is that what we're doing? And we'll just put hers up too.
So we
Which
all
looks-
have Mage Hand.
Which looks like it's like an elegant, like long black fingered glove. Is what hers looks like.
Perfect.
Our 3 little Mage Hands just like floating around.
Yeah,
like-
they're all just like floating around the room waiting for you
Yeah.
to tell them what to do, because they're just like, okay, I'm here. I did it.
Our Mage Hands high five each other.
Oh.
Perfect. Very proud of their accomplishments, which they
Yes.
should be.
They're all doing so well.
They are.
I'm gonna watch.
We're so
these adorable-
focused.
Adorable little Mage Hands, and it's going to. I'm gonna think, wow, this is cute. And I'm gonna look at a candle, and I'm gonna walk over to the candle, and really quietly, because I don't want anybody to hear me, because I'm very embarrassed, and I don't think this is gonna work. I get down and I go, I wish all of our Mage Hands could be friends forever, and see if the candle responds to my wish.
I want you to roll me persuade about it, because like, was that what I had in mind when I wrote this? No, but I love it so much that I want it to work.
I was thinking similarly, like speak friend and enter, you know, like right?
16. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Persuasion, 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that works. As you whisper that to this candle in front of you, a flame lights on it.
Okay, I think as soon as I notice that it's lighting, I very loudly say, I wish I was taller, so they don't know what my actual wish was.
You do not
can
grow
I-
at all, but like you can absolutely like straighten your shoulders out a little bit, act like it worked. As this candle does light for you, it's a tall white candle in a sort of golden candle holder. And you do notice, I'll give you this one for free since you're also watching all of your Mage Hands high five and stuff. You'll have to look back up at some point. One of the orbs on the door is now also lit up.
Did you make a
I'm gonna turn
wish?
around and I'm like shaking, like physically. You can tell she is shaking. She has no idea how she got there. She's like, I think, okay. I think we all have to make wishes on the candles, and then that'll light the orbs, and then that'll light the door. But I don't want to be bossy, so whatever you guys think we should do.
Pretty convenient that
will
there's
walk-
4 of us and there's 4 candles.
Pretty convenient, yes.
Yeah, so
Ithilde will walk
Tansy's gonna
over
go
to
up.
you.
Or
Tansy.
no, do you want to go? Okay, Tansy's gonna go up to one of the candles and just go like, okay, I wish we can get the power back up.
That one, it does not light up.
Hmm.
Maybe it has to be a grantable wish, like immediately.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that our Mage Hands could be friends forever, and they're all right here and probably could. I mean, I wished I was tall and I got taller.
It could
happened.
also be that it has to be personal. And Ithilde will walk over to you, Jovi, and put her hand on your shoulder and be like, by the way, it's not bossy, it's confidence. And then we'll walk to a different candle and we'll just say like, I wish that I could be 2 inches taller. I'm going to take this from your playbook.
The candle lights up and you can feel yourself get a little taller, but when you look down, it's that your shoes have grown heels. So like you are not necessarily taller, but you have 2-inch taller heels than you did before.
I'm psyched. This is great. And if that hadn't worked, I was just going to use disguise self and make myself taller. So I love that.
She had a backup plan. It's all coming together.
Do a personal one. And she'll point it at Tansy to try again.
Okay. So Tansy thinks for a moment and then tries again. It's like, I wish I could figure out how to get that jetpack to work.
As you say that, and you say it to whatever candle is unlit, as the flame starts to light, it starts as this like small spark. And at the same moment the spark happens, you get this itty bitty inkling in your mind. And as the flame grows, you get more and more knowledge of, oh, this is exactly how that should work. And by the time it is properly lit, as well as the orb in the door, you know exactly how to go back and make that jetpack.
Jovi has just now realized that the candles actually grant the wishes and is just kind of looking at the 3 mage hands like playing.
Oh, they're all like,
scissors
yeah,
and
they're hanging out. They're so mellow.
Yeah, I gotta wish. Okay.
Eden, I think Eden will, for the bit, of course, will also cast Mage Hand just so that they also can become friends, so that all 4 of them become friends. Because we all.
And what does yours look like?
Yeah, the vision must be complete.
It should.
But I think she's gonna walk up to one of the candles. And it's not a wish for herself, but it's a wish for someone else. And she whispers very quietly, and she's like, I just wish that Pearl will have one day of peace. One day. Just one. Could be any day. She starts listening like modifications of the wish. She's like, it doesn't have to be today, quite frankly, because there's bad things going on. But at some point.
You watch as the flame starts as a small spark and begins to grow. And obviously Pearl is not here with you, but you do feel pretty confident that Pearl will also get to have her day off at some point. As the orb, the last orb on the door starts to light up, the door itself will swing open for you. And you do see beyond it darkness.
So easy. Love it. After you. It's not working.
Yeah, I got my little light lantern, which
it
I
full
have the light
darkness?
cantrip, so I feel better about now. And just kind of see what we can see in the darkness.
Yeah. As you all go through, are you going in the same order? Because this doorway is also pretty narrow. It would probably be like a single file line situation.
Yeah.
Cool. As you do, Tansy, you are the first to see as you walk in yourself.
That's disconcerting.
Do we also see her duplicate?
As you all walk in, you can sort of spread out as you enter the room because it's bigger than you could have been able to tell before you were in it. But you all see duplicates of yourselves.
And we can see each other's too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, very much so. They're all just standing across the room from you.
I
Sort of like
wave, does
copying.
duplicate.
Yes, it also
Oh.
waves back at you.
Is my duplicate wearing high heels that I just got?
Yes, your duplicate looks he's still wearing like the 2-inch taller heels that you have now acquired.
I think she definitely has a moment of like, you look great.
Can I tell if it's like some sort of like a really good mirror or if it's like an actual like
Give me a check
Yeah.
about it.
While you do that, I'm gonna turn and pull just anything out of my backpack and see what my duplicate does as I produce an object from my backpack.
It produces the same object.
The same object?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna say perception. Can I guidance myself?
You're blessed.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
saying
I'm
you are
blessed.
blessed.
Okay.
With your tetanus shot patch.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a 24 even without the blast.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
perfect. You're able to discern pretty quickly that this is a mirror.
Okay.
As you look more around the room with the limited light that you have, you've never seen this in person, Tansy, but you've seen pictures of when people have gone to grant wishes in different places. And this one looks sort of familiar. It's not like a specific place that you know the name of, but you recognize it as a playroom that kids are often in when they're like in the hospital, like when they have the big group rooms where kids can go play together. It looks sort of like that in this room. The white walls and sort of the tiled flooring, but there are shelves that line the walls that are full of toys. There are some tables around that have like coloring books open and stuff on them, crayons spilled everywhere. And there are a couple of for lack of a better way to put it, sort of cardboard cutouts of like kids playing in the floor or at a table just around.
This feels like we have a room like this near the infirmary, but it's not. It almost feels like this was set up to like practice for that. Or do people practice for wish granting? I don't. Could this be like a old training room?
We do have training rooms. And I have granted wishes in places like this before.
I'm
Pretty
sure.
sad.
Do the cardboard cutouts look decayed? Like, we talking like last 100 years or last 400 years? Like, are they flopping yet?
No, they actually look like they're in really good shape.
Okay, so someone's been using down here at least somewhat recently.
Mhm.
Can I?
Does
What are
anything
the-
in
what
the
are the-
room look different in the mirrors?
Give me a check
was
about it.
I wanted to do that. I was trying to figure out if there's anything that's not exactly mirrored.
Yeah. Feel free to give me perception checks if that's what you would like to check. Anyone is welcome to do that.
I got an 11.
You didn't bless yourself though, right? I can give you guidance.
You can give me guidance. Yeah, I blessed
Yeah.
the 3 of you.
That is
Modify.
You go. Numbers. Hold on.
Get a 14.
Modified 20.
Cool.
17.
Okay.
Too many numbers sad. Too many numbers sad.
And then what did you get again, Tansy?
I had the 24 earlier. Do you want me to re-roll it? or-
Yeah. Since this is a little different, I'm going to give you still a bonus for that 24 on this, but I want to see what you initially see first.
Okay, so that's what is this? That's 18 plus 3, 21.
Cool. So I would say that you all notice it to some degree, but Athilde and Tansy can get a better handle of what's happening. You all notice in the mirror that the reflection isn't the exact same as the room you're in. You four are the exact same, but you're also the only living beings within this room. Everything from like this rainbow rug that's on the floor to these bookshelves full of board games and stuffed animals and the crayons on the desk, everything for the most part looks the same, but it's the two of you that got the 20 or above that notice first that some things are just out of order. If you weren't looking close enough, you would see that the bookshelf on the wall, the entire top of it is lined in stuffed animals. And by silhouette, it would look the same. But because you're looking at it, like staring at it directly, you realize, oh, the brown bears have different colored bows and they're in the wrong places. So like the pink one is on the left in the mirror, but the blue one is on the left in real life. And it's things like that are just switched around in weird ways.
Okay, I'm gonna go to that shelf with the stuffed animals and like rearrange it to match the reflection.
as you do, you hear the sound of gears turning, but see nothing else.
Okay.
I think if I notice like a different section, like the crayons in a different order or something, I will bust out Mage Hand again and send her over to put them in the correct order.
Your mage hand floats over, and you realize that in the mirror it looks like they're in rainbow order, but in real life they're in reverse rainbow order. So you watch as your mage hand moves all of the pieces around, and you hear another gear click and whir. And this one sounds a little bit closer, but you still don't see anything.
Look around for anything else that's a little different on this side than that side.
I'll walk up to a mirror and I'll just very quietly, my grandma used to do puzzles like this. Yeah, okay. But I'm going to home in specifically on the reflections of the cardboard kids. See if there's anything different there.
There is. So as you look at the kids themselves, you realize that in the mirror, they look happy. And in real life, they look sad.
Can I walk up to one and see, like, what are its facial features? Like, are they crayon? Is it a pipe cleaner?
Yeah, you go up to one that it looks like it's a little girl, a human sitting in the floor. She's got curly blonde hair that's in ringlets, big green eyes, and everything looks like it is printed except for her smile, which looks like it's done in like marker.
I'm gonna share what I've noticed because do you think I just draw over it, or do you think like I'm gonna have Mage Hand reach out and kind of see if that part of the cardboard is adjustable, because it feels too easy to Jovi to just be like, I'll just draw on it.
Yeah, your mage hand goes over, and as it taps away at the cardboard in real life, like you hear the sort of hollow sound that cardboard makes when it's tapped, but there doesn't seem to be anything about the face. Like it even tries to wipe off sort of where the frown is on the child in real life, and it doesn't seem to go away.
Okay. Can I try? And I'll cast prestidigitation. One of the things is I can make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object for an hour. Yeah. I'll just try to make the smile, like mirror, just like I'll see if that does anything.
Yeah, you give it a shot, and as you do, the cardboard version of the little girl, you see the frown almost get like covered in paint, like there's paint strokes over the cardboard that match the color of her skin, and then it just appears as a marker line, and it's like not like it's not a great drawing. The print of her looks pretty realistic, eyes wise, hair, the clothes, everything like that, but then you just see the swipe of a purple marker make a smile on it, and when you look back to the mirror, the smile now matches. It is now redrawn in that purple in the mirror as well.
I'll walk over to Jovi and be like, but good job spotting that, and I'll give you bardic inspiration.
Jovi has another cutout that she was trying to figure out and was in the process of starting to turn it upside down, and then watched what you did, and then it's just kind of like, that makes sense, okay, and gets a marker and just, okay.
Perfect.
Is your a D6 for bardic?
It is a D8.
Woohoo!
Oh, dear.
Higher.
And as you do that, Jovi, and you set down this other cardboard cutout that you had, it was of a small boy who was sitting at the table. You sort of like prop it back up in its chair. You could swear that just for a second, his eyes looked like they were looking at you, but then they go back to normal.
Josie looks calm on the outside because this is like similar to something that might happen in the infirmary, but in her head she's like, is there a spell that does this? It turns people to cardboard? I wonder if I read about it. And just like panicking internally. But yeah, any of the other cutouts, I'll go and I'll make them smile.
Yeah, you go around. There are probably like 5 in total, all of different children playing with different things. One of them has like a chess set out in front of them and is playing with that. One of them has an Etch-a-Sketch. The boy with the crayons, the little girl has like a teddy bear in front of her with like a little teacup, like she's having her own little tea party with it. And then the last one, as you go to fix its smile, it's a child that looks a little bit older. They're playing with like a DS, essentially, like a little handheld video game thing. And as you switch out the smile on it, you get this feeling of like warm light in you that you can only associate with like the hugs that you get from family as you fix the last smile on this child. You hear the gears crack and whirl wherever they may be, because you still haven't seen them in this dim lighting, before you hear a thud. And there is a new door behind you, one that was in the same place as the door you just came through, but looks completely different now. Now is metal made of these gears that you've heard. And you don't quite understand how replacing the door like that works, but you have to assume it goes somewhere new because it looks different, right? Probably.
I think Josie was trying to talk herself out of the fact that this could be something wonky until she got that like warm hug feeling. Can I do some sort of like medicine check to see if I'm aware of like, could this be like a curse or a potion or a false reality? It's a natural 1. Oh, I have inspiration from Stardew.
You do. You have inspiration from Stardew.
8 plus 7, 15.
Yeah.
Yes.
15 will get you a decent amount here for sure.
I'm trying to decide if I want to use that bardic. I'm gonna hold off. I'll go with 15.
Okay. Yeah, 15 will definitely get you something. I will also offer, if anybody else would like to make like a straight sort of intelligence roll about this room, anything like that, you totally can. I will give you with this, you don't know of any spell, curse, or potion that would put anybody in a physical state like this. It doesn't seem to you, in your medical opinion, that these were real people at any point.
Okay.
From what you can figure out.
Cool.
Straight intelligence roll is 22.
There you go. Yeah, that'll get you plenty. You would know, Tansy, from your bits of like learning maintenance about all the different types of rooms and things, that what Athilde said earlier is right. You all do have training rooms. There are training rooms that everyone has gone through, including Jovi. Now that Jovi is like going to be new to the field and everything. You don't have one now that is exactly like this, but you have one that's similar that teaches like about like the different environments that you could go grant wishes in and things like that. It does seem like this was possibly a training room at some point, that they maybe like magically plopped over here to be a thing of like, if someone doesn't belong to the wishing network, they won't be able to figure out how to get through this room. That sort of thing. You all don't do the reflection test anymore. It used to be something, it's not anything even any of you all were trained in, but like it was an old training thing they would do sort of to teach attention to detail and things like that, would be a reflection test. But because they always were like, we're only keeping people out, not letting people in, they were like, oh, this is great. If you're not trained, you won't know. And they never counted on the fact that they'd stop training in it at all. But you all were able to figure it out anyway. And as a part of the training room, sort of combining your two roles together, there is this idea that these kids were made for training, that they're not real, but they do have the ability to give the like happy emotions that a wish granter would get if they were able to fix a kid's day, which is the warm hug feeling that Jovi was able to get.
That makes a lot of sense, because Jovi wouldn't know that feeling.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that feeling yet. So that is, yeah, that's why the closest thing you had sort of was a hug from a family member, because you were like, it's love and it's like pure like happiness and love, but I don't know where that's coming from. And these little kids are enchanted cardboard cutouts that are able to give it when people do their training well. So Jovi's passing with even more flying stars than she even knew she had.
Tansy
She is,
relays
but I
all
do
of that and
think-
just info dumps.
Yeah, if you info dump, I do think Jovi's like, okay, this is cool, but also like kicks a crayon is like, I'm not telling my sister that my first wish was on cardboard.
We are gonna work on your confidence, young lady. That's all I'm saying.
One of my first wishes to be cool, like I don't know, dragons. I don't know,
Like dragons.
Like dragons.
Oh,
Give
dragons
me
are overrated, and if you let her, like, she'll like go off on a story about a time that she did something with a dragon one time.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you
let's
all,
see where the door goes.
yeah, you all are welcome to head into the next room. As you approach it, the last of the gears sort of whir and click into place. Instead of sliding on a hinge, it slides further into the wall itself and opens for you all to go into this next section. And as you hold up the light, you can see that it looks like you're outside.
Is it an outside that is like a place that we have been before? Like, is it outside of the well, or like a place within the wells, or just we can just tell that we're outside?
It's not a place that you recognize immediately as like a certain area. It's definitely nowhere you all have been before. You've seen pictures of like similar places, or maybe some of you have been similar places when you're helping grant wishes. There is a lot of grass on the ground, sort of some mini piles of dirt here and there, some flowers blooming in random places. There's a large tree with a swing hanging off of a branch. A seesaw sits in the middle, and there are clouds up in the sky. But the one weird thing you do notice is the sky is not very far up, like 20 or 30 feet maybe.
I see me saying lower. I was gonna be like, well, you could just reach your hand. It's like, what if you just like pressed it?
Well,
It's
we
actually
could
one
press it
big-
with the mage hands.
Yeah, there we go.
Make mage hands go. All four mage hands.
Just rise together up to the ceiling. And honestly, as they do, your four mage hands all go up and press in to the clouds, and they're stopped. They can't go through the cloud.
Huh.
Can
I know mage.
Mathilde do? Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, can Mathilde do like a history check? She's been a lot of places in a lot of years. Is there just to get like any sense of if this reminds her of anything in particular?
Go for it.
17 plus 5, so 22.
Cool. With a 22, you are able to tell that while this is not a specific one that you've been to, this is set up like a park, like a small park. This room itself, or like area that you're in, because there is eventually like a stop to it, but like is 40 feet, 50 feet across. It's pretty big. The equipment in here that's for the sort of playground is taking up the majority of the space between the tree swing, the seesaw. There are a couple of those horses that you can like rock back and forth on that have the springs on the bottom, sandbox over in the corner, just different things like that. But you recognize this is set up to be a playground like the ones you would see when you would go grant wishes for kids at schools and things like that, but you can't correlate this one with a specific playground you've been to before.
And there's no kids there?
No kids.
I'll look to the folks that have been out in the field and just say, does this feel like, could this be another training room? Because I've never done a test like this. Other than like knowing that sandboxes are really gross and germy. And kids get more concussions from seesaws than they do from bikes. And just nervously rattling off facts. But I don't remember this from my field training.
I've been to plenty of places like this. It's a playground. They're quite fun. And she'll just walk right over and sit on the swing. start swinging if she's able to.
Yeah, you can absolutely swing to your heart's content. Give me acrobatics to see how well it goes. Acrobatics feels right.
I was gonna make an argument for bard performance here, but I'll take acrobatics.
Can I get
Oh,
a
that's
help
not.
action?
Yeah, you can totally give the help action.
Yes. So you can just like as Enos is helping you swing.
Who's
Like
pushing?
like
I
the way
love
like a
that.
mother would, like that.
That's
But
great
no,
because I think the first roll is indicative of her trying to pump herself and it's not working. So thank you for that help. That's a little better. That's a 12.
Sure, with a 12, this is just a swing. This is the basics, you know. And as you pump your legs, Eden behind you, pushing you farther up toward the sky, there's still no way for you to reach the clouds. But as you are sort of hitting the high point and you're looking straight up towards the ceiling, you see the clouds start to get a little grayer.
Do we all notice that?
Yeah.
I know Mage Hand is a cantrip, so please tell me no. If not, when it was pushing, could I tell if it was like, oh, that's a solid rock wall, or that's magic stopping it?
I'm going to say for this purpose, you can probably tell that it's magic.
Okay. Magic ceiling.
Magic ceiling. My favorite.
Rain in here.
I'm gonna go see what's going on in the sandbox.
Yeah, go for it. As you go to the sandbox over in the corner, you notice that there's like a small shovel and pail set in there. A couple of those different things. What are they called? Like the forms that you would pack full of sand, then you flip it over and it'd make a castle or it'd make a mermaid or whatever. So it's got all of those different sort of things within it, but otherwise looks, from the outside at least, very normal. Just plain sand in like a blue sandbox.
Jovi's now going to put a blue glove on her own hand.
Yes.
And from the outside of the sandbox, not stepping into it, kind of leans over and grabs whatever looks to be like the longest shovel and just sees if she can get to the bottom of the sandbox or see if the sand responds at all when she moves it around the shovel.
Yeah, when you move the sand around, it itself does not seem to respond, but others around you could see that the clouds get even a little darker now as you keep playing in the sandbox.
Are we not supposed to have fun? Is that
Or are
why
we
the
supposed
clouds
to
are
make it
turning
rain?
gray?
Or do we want the clouds to turn gray?
Maybe we're supposed
My
to.
hair doesn't do very well in the rain. I don't know.
I have an umbrella in my bag.
Yeah, I will absolutely say that's fair. You absolutely have an umbrella in your bag that you
Or
can pop
poncho, or
open.
who knows what. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm gonna say you have both. You have a poncho and you have an umbrella.
Take a pick.
There's something here for everyone.
I think you said there were flowers.
Yes, there
How
are
do-
flowers popping up in different, just like random areas through the room.
I'm not a big nature person, other than kind of in the ways that nature aligns with medicine, but do the flowers look sick? Do they look like they need rain?
Some of them look a little droopy, I'd say. None of them have like fully dried out or lost their color, but some of them do slump a little bit towards the ground.
Do you think we're supposed to water the flowers?
With rain?
With rain?
Maybe.
Just
And Tansy's gonna go over to the seesaw with Pancake, and Tansy's gonna sit on one end and have Pancake sit on the other end.
Aww.
You and Pancake rock the seesaw back and forth. Pancake doesn't give a ton of emotional expression in their life, but you could see like the smallest like smile of what Pancake can give at the fact that you guys are up and down on the seesaw as the clouds darken even further and you start to feel small drops of rain.
Now, see, hold on. Etheldy, do you have that umbrella on while you are still on the swing and Eden is pushing you on the swing? Because I think that's a very funny visual, personally.
The answer is 100% yes. Then
Got it.
yes, she's just it's practical and it's just
Mhm.
swinging with her.
Perfect. As you all do that, you're all sort of in your separate spaces. Pancake and Tansy on the seesaw, Jovi sifting through sand, albeit as far away as possible, but still sifting through sand.
It's like doodling now.
And then just umbrella open, Athilde on the swing with Eden pushing. The longer you all go, the darker the clouds get and the bigger the raindrops fall as it goes from just a light sprinkle to a downpour. And in seconds, you see all of the flowers bloom and become so bright. Just a small problem. The room is starting to flood, as there is no place for this water to drain. So it's now becoming standing water.
That's a fair
Everybody
point.
stop.
We haven't established if there's a door in here or not.
Yeah, everybody stop having fun. Right now.
Did anyone take create or destroy water by any chance?
No, I'll hop off the swing at this point though, and just be very grateful for my heels.
You hop off the swing. Jovi stops playing in the sand. Eden and Tansy, what are we doing?
Yeah, Tansy will stop.
Yeah, Eden's gonna stop too.
Okay. As you all stop, the water stops falling, but you do see, actually, anybody that would like to can give me a perception check.
19.
Cool.
Nat 20
Ew.
for a total of 24.
Do we still have bless?
Yes.
I think it's only a minute.
Oh, is it?
I was gonna say that.
I'm gonna say you still have it. Who knows?
Okay.
Well, I can
don't
also
remember
guide it
how-
myself.
I don't remember how long Bless lasts, and so I'm like, you know what? Sure.
It's a minute.
21.
Excellent.
Cool.
17. I know math too.
Because all of you got passing numbers, I'm going to give everybody different bits of information, and you all can just put them all together as you will. Tansy, where you sit on the seesaw, you see it while Eden hears it, of something metal falling down and hitting the seesaw before it bounces off and floats into water. It's the sound of like metal on metal. So the sharp ping kind of echoes in this space for Eden as you look around trying to find the source of it. The minute that it falls and bounces off the seesaw, it lands in water. And by the time the rain stopped, it downpoured so quickly that it's probably up to like most of your knees, probably almost up to like hips for Athilde, as someone who is so small. And it's a couple feet of water that you watch whatever this small bit of metal is sink down to the bottom toward the grass. But the water is clear enough that you can see that it's a key. I'll say with that, Athilde and Jovi can probably put together quicker. While you miss the key itself, you realize that there's a click from inside the tree. And you just hear like the click and the pop sort of sound and a hiss.
Inside the tree, like we don't see
Yeah.
anything. There's just noises.
It's in the tree. I will say with how well you guys rolled, I'll say that you can probably see like the smallest hole in the trunk of the tree that Athilde's pretty sure wasn't there before when you hopped on the swing. But like it's just a slat that's like this big. It's not a keyhole shape even. It's just a small rectangle that looks like it was punched out of the bark.
Tansy's gonna use Mage Hand to grab the key out of the where it's in the water, and then just like hold it up, but like with the Mage Hand, hold it up in the center of the room. Anyone know where we put this?
Ooh. And instead of pointing, I'll use my mage hand to point.
for that. Your mage
At the-
hand goes over, literally all 4 of them, because now they're best friends. They all go over together and like from different directions, all point to this little tiny rectangle that's been chunked out of this bark. Just like think of it as the Beetlejuice arrow that lights up, except it's not lit up. It's just 4 spectral hands all pointing at it from different directions over and over and over again, being like, hey, we found it. It's over here. With our best friend powers, we united and found this small chunk of tree that is gone.
Okay, and then Tansy's mage hand will try to put the key in.
Perfect. It takes the key, slots it in very quickly, and turns, and the key itself disappears from your mage hand as it sort of disintegrates away. You all watch as the leaves fall from the tree to the ground, like aging rapidly, going from bright green through fall colors and then fall. And as the final leaf hits the ground, a door appears in the tree trunk.
Make hands clap together.
Yes. They clap together in a circle. They're very ready.
Would have been cooler if I wasn't quite wet, but you know.
I think Eden's going to cast Prestidigitation to make you look not wet.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's not going to change the feeling, but it's definitely going to make you look not wet.
Good idea, though, and I'll think I'll do it myself as well.
I love that. Just so you all know, we still have 45 minutes left in stream, but we've hit over $100, which is super cool. Thank you so much for all the donations, everybody. That's super exciting. I'm super thrilled. I'm glad you guys are liking the game and want to donate to Make-A-Wish. That's so fun. So I'm going to let you all know what the incentives are really quick that you all have, so you can keep track of that. Don't forget, if you have not used it yet, you have an inspiration from Star Drew and a +1 from Star Drew from his donation earlier in the night. So you have those to hang on to if you have not used them yet. Everybody also has another inspiration and another +1 to a roll. And then we also have a random potion and a wild magic surge and a random magic item. So
Amazing.
we have a lot going for us. So I'm going to roll those things really quick, those random things, as you all pile in the tree trunk.
There's a potion of dryness.
That'd be great. Yeah, we're gonna see what I get. I'm just gonna pull up my little random potions table really quick. I'm so glad I made this.
Gosh, there's nothing. Oh, go ahead.
No, please go for it while I pull the rest of the stuff. And I'll give them all at once.
There's nothing more random than D&D notes. 4 baseball orbs, mirrors, magic sky.
Oh, yeah.
H2O key? Horses.
The power of friendship?
Yeah.
All right. So the potion itself is going to be it's a small vial. You find it when you step inside of the tree trunk. It's like just sitting there on the floor pretty randomly, like someone must have left it behind. But it's smaller in a glass vial with a sort of potion like bottle topper that looks like a raindrop, but is not for water at all, because what I rolled was that it is a potion of bonding that you can give to someone, something, what have you, that instantly makes you friendlier, or makes them friendlier to you. It is purple and pink and swirls with glitter in the bottle, seeming to have its own momentum even when the bottle is completely still. There is a small tag on it that lets you know what its abilities are, so no one has to try to figure it out. And so that is going to be your random potion. And then,
is that a permanent thing, or is that like a friend's where after a while it...
That's a permanent thing. That will last forever.
Wow.
So you never know what you could use it for, but it could come in handy at some point. And then we're doing a wild magic surge. Who wants the wild magic surge, or do you want me to roll a dice and see who gets it randomly? All right,
You did ask for it in the chat.
I asked for it in
Matt.
the chat. I have to follow through.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Jovi, you did ask for it. I did see that message now that you say that. So that's fair. Actually, this one is great for you. For the next minute, yourself and creatures within 30 feet of you gain 5 temporary hit points at the start of your next turn. These hits do not stack. So I will say that you can either have that happen right now, or since you don't know what you're walking into yet, you can wait and I'll let you activate that at a time you would like if you want.
And it's within 30 feet?
Yes. Any creatures within 30 feet of you.
Yeah, we haven't been in many rooms much bigger than that. I'll hold it.
Yeah, okay. There you go. And then last but not least, we have a random magic item that is rare or better. Let's see which one we get. This one is, all right, Medallion of the Labyrinth. A medallion that, when focused on, always displays a faint blue line curving around trees, arching over rocks, etc. It will always show the fastest way home, but not the easiest. A flawed enchantment made by a well-meaning wife for her husband, so he could always find his way back to her.
But not too fast, because she also likes her alone time.
Yeah. Always the fastest, just not the easiest.
Oh, my bad. I heard it backwards.
No, put that
It'll
one.
be fine.
Who knows what'll pop up if you try to use this thing? We'll see you together. But there you go. That is everything that has been donated so far. Is all redeemed, and players have their individual things as we move into our next space. So you all are huddled in this tree trunk, or do you all try to get in? It seems pretty small. There's not like an apparent exit, really. There is very much just an apparent entrance.
I can go in with the lantern, but I will just clarify again that is a light cantrip on a lantern and is not actual fire as I go into a tree trunk.
Which is very good to clarify. Thank you for clarifying.
We do not believe in setting trees on fire.
We do not. Don't set trees on fire, everybody. If you take one lesson away from tonight, don't set trees on fire. As you do, you sort of see the inside of this trunk is hollow. It looks big enough that maybe all 4 of you could squeeze in here, but it's not much roomier than that. The inside also keeps the sort of tree theme going. It looks like the sort of like you can see the rings of the tree in the floor that you stand on. The same lines sort of curve up the walls and things. And you can even look up and see just the bits of leaves that are kind of left over from what fell on top. And you think that probably you would be able to see through to the ceiling of the playground room if those leaves hadn't covered it up.
So we all go in, we're getting very squishy.
You're getting squishy.
It's squishy.
Tall people could lift tiny people.
True.
True. We could like double stack.
We might have to leave Pancake out of this one. I don't know.
I'm so sorry if you said that. How high to like the leaves?
I'd say probably a good 15 feet up, give or take.
Do you want to go in? Or should some of us?
Yeah,
What
I'm
if
in.
instead of leaving Pancake out, we send Pancake in first.
It's a strategy. You can send Pancake in first if you want.
Okay, I'm gonna have Cookie sit on Pancake's shoulder, and then Pancake's gonna go in, and I'm gonna look through Pancake's senses for a bit.
Okay.
Or look through.
And I
Cookie's
am
senses.
in there with the lantern.
Okay, so you are in there with the lantern, with the light cantrip on it that is not real fire. Pancake is standing next to you with Cookie on Pancake's shoulder.
Pancake is so big to me. Oh my god.
Pancake is huge next to you.
Yeah. And Pancake does have dark vision, if that matters. And so does Cookie, actually, because Cookie's a spider.
Okay. As Jovi and Pancake and Cookie all stand in the middle of this hollowed out tree trunk. Do you shut the door?
I don't.
Now
Love that.
I can't answer what other people do.
Like, now that you said it, no.
No, do you shut the door?
You don't have to stay in there. They have dark vision. They're fine.
Roll to see if Pancake shuts the door behind him because he's a gentleman.
Pancake's a gentleman. That's true. Oh, I love that.
But like,
I
you
see
don't have to stay
anything
in
happening, moving, anything at
No.
all.
Everything seems super fine as long as the door is open. Nothing
there.
changes.
Okay. Pancake's gonna wait a second to see if you change your mind, and then close the door.
Wait. I try to stop him, which is absolutely nothing. I'm just like tapping on his knee. I was like, I will take out my like several hundred feet of too much rope and like chuck it out at you guys and tie the rest. I'm just gonna tie it around me because if I tie it around Pancake, he could knock me over. So I'm just gonna tie it around me and then gesture for Pancake to shut the door.
Okay, Pancake shuts
I
the
have
door.
lantern and I have Mize.
I wasn't planning on doing this, but it's just too funny for me to not. If you've watched my streams before, you know what's about to happen, and these people may never play at a table with me ever again. So I'm gonna ask
So scared.
for Heather and DJ to take out your earphones for a minute so you can't hear me, and I'm gonna give you a thumbs up when you can come back. Perfect. Now that it's just the three of us. Tansy, you can see everything that's about to happen through Cookie, which is why you are allowed to stay in this moment. Jovi, you are the only person that is going to experience this in real life. Because Tansy's just chilling on the outside of the tree trunk with Phildy and Eden, and as the door shuts, you hear a small click. Everything is now dark in here, but what you notice is as everything goes black, as the door lights, you just have your little lantern, a sort of blacklight situation comes on, and on the back of the door now just says, "Never look back."
That's mildly upsetting.
What's it written in?
It just looks like it's kind of like scrawled there. Like you would bet that it's probably like charcoal or something like that.
It's not something terrifying. Never look back. Nothing else in the room changed. Still a round room, tall ceilings.
Right.
All right. Jovi's starting to freak out a little bit. Definitely like first mission, like, oh my gosh, maybe my mom is right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And it's just going to take the backpack off and just kind of, okay, maybe I could use, no, and pulls out those 2 rock climbing picks that her sister told her she should definitely bring. And I'm going to start climbing the inside of the tree and see how high I can get.
Okay, give me athletics.
This is a terrible idea. Bad idea. But it's 100% like,
Hey, it's
a 16
authentic.
plus 1, 17.
Hey, 17 is good. You start to climb the walls and you are able to get up to Pancake's height, and then you're able to get up a little bit taller and a little bit taller. And you, actually, I'm going to ask you this first. What sort of, it's a round room, but what part of this round room did you try to climb? Like, did you try to climb like directly in front of you where the door is? Did you try to climb the like sort that's to your left or your right or behind you?
I would say if it's a circle, I climbed the part that is directly across from the door. I think that's how Josie interpreted never look back, just to put the door behind her and climb directly across from it.
I'm going to say as you do that, you hear like a solid thunk and then thunk and then thunk and then nothing as you keep climbing. Like you've reached a point where there was something solid and now there's not. Like your hook is still in something, but it must be that you've reached something different, if that makes sense. Like you would probably even interpret it as when you don't get the solid thunk, you might be so high in the tree that there is no wall directly behind it, that you poked all the way through the tree bark to keep climbing.
I'm gonna pause.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Featherfall on myself.
Okay.
Which is not concentration, right? Okay.
No.
And then I'm going to cast Message to I don't know who she would send it to. I guess Rose, since you're can also see what's going on.
Yeah, I can see and hear because
you can hear. Oh, okay, then never mind. That doesn't make any
yeah.
sense. So I'll send it to Heather. Who should I have? Should we have her put her headphones back on, or am I assuming she can't hear this?
You guys are good. Come back. You're fine. That was really fun to see them
so stressed
in the chat, though. So I'd say we accomplished it. We did what we came here to do.
Okay, so Athilde, I am casting Message to you. Okay.
Okay.
I'm in the tree. The door's closed. It says on the door, never look back, so I'm not looking at it. So I just started climbing because there's nowhere else to go. And at first it was like how you would expect climbing tree would be like and now it's like not. So I'm just kind of hanging up here. Do you think I should keep climbing? Do you guys want to come in? I could.
What?
I don't know what.
I think if I'm listening to this,
more than my 50 words, I'm sure.
Athilde's first instinct is just to walk over and try to open the door. Can I open the door?
Yeah, you can open the door.
Okay, so yeah, I think while you're panicking, Athilde's just like and just goes over.
The minute that you open the door, the things that I described to you in the room of what was on the door and that clicking sound happens again and the writing is gone.
Okay, so you can only get out when the door's closed. Can I?
Do I look up and see them? Like,
yes, you look in, you see Pancake standing there in like 7-foot glory with Cookie the spider on his shoulder. And then just a little farther up than that, you see Jovi in the side of the tree with just rock climbing picks, looking down at you, wide eyes, panic.
Okay.
This is bizarre. Can I cast Detect Thoughts and see if I pick up on anybody other than my party?
Yeah,
or anything that is having thoughts?
Yeah. You absolutely can do that.
While you're doing that, I'm just gonna look back at Eden and be like, she's fine. She's right.
Okay. All right. Should we go up the tree?
If you be my guest.
Eden starts to go up the tree.
I mean, for tall people, I'm like 2 feet above you. Like, you could probably reach me.
As you cast Detect Thoughts, Eden comes into the tree, is like trying to attempt this climbing thing. Athilde's looking at both of you going like, is this even right? Tansy is still, are you still looking as yourself now, or are you still looking through Cookie?
I'm looking through Cookie, and I'm actually going to send Cookie to also go up.
Okay. Yeah, Cookie will also go
probably
up.
better climber than I am.
Yeah, Cookie's a spider. Cookie literally has a feature called climb
right by you.
Yeah. So Cookie's gonna go up and like actually go up past Jovi. And just like what's up there?
Okay, so we'll resolve these in order. Jovi, your Detect Thoughts spell, you get the hint of something, but it's almost like it's whatever it is behind a wall. Like it's like when you can hear people talk, but you can't make out what they're saying. It's like a bunch of jumbled, like almost like it's underwater or behind like thick stone, like something like that. Like it's murmurs of something, but the actual thought itself is not coming through.
Okay, via message cantrip,
Yes.
essentially doing it 3 times.
Yeah.
I will just say there is something sentient above/behind the other part of the tree, not the playground part, unless there's kids in the playground now, but I don't think it's kids.
I'm like right below you, so I think you start doing this in the message cantrip. I'm like, I can hear you.
Yeah, but and then in the message cantrip again, I'm like, but what if it can hear us?
Fair. Continue.
So as
that's all she's got. She's like, there's a thing with thoughts, and I can hear it. And it can hear us, maybe. I don't know.
There's a thing with thoughts, and I can hear it is fantastic. It also should be a t-shirt. As you do that and you're sending the message around, Tansy, you look through Cookie's eyes. Cookie goes all the way to the top of the tree, where all the leaves and things are. Because Cookie is so tiny, they can sort of see between some of the leaves that have fallen that there's a part of the tree that looks like it connects to the wall, like it's touching the physical wall outside, that you realize, like now looking at it, that Jovi is just above that where it stops and is at like the lowest part of the tree that is not connected to the wall on that side, which is probably explains what Jovi meant when she was saying like, hey, I've hit a part of the tree that's not like the other part of the tree.
Mm-hmm. I will use the message cantrip to relay that to Jovi.
Perfect. You all message back and forth, which I can only picture how Pancake stands in the middle of this utter silence as you all talk to each other. And Pancake's like, I don't know what's happening, but I'll be here if you need me. Just still staring straight ahead as Cookie sort of backs away from the little clear dome on top that they could see through between the leaves, and starts to climb back down.
Do we get any sense of like how are we supposed to go there? Or is there another way out? I think I'm just looking around like, what's happening here now?
Again, Jovi, baby adventurer, I'm gonna hit it.
You're gonna hit what part?
The part that is not hard. So I think what Jovi's thinking is, okay, there's wall, there's tree, there's wall. And if the tree keeps going, but the wall stops. So that could be a tunnel. So I'm gonna, maybe the thing in between the tree and the not wall, I can smash through.
Go for it. Make an attack roll for me.
Everybody watch out!
Secret tunnel. Hi, Them Gamer Party. Thanks so much for raiding.
Cocked.
Hello.
I shouldn't say that because it's probably going to get flagged as a swear word. My bad.
That's okay. It was in terms of dice. No one worry. It was not being used as a swear word. We can't swear because of the children.
It's 17 to smash the tree with my mace.
Yeah, cool. You are able to gouge into this tree. Actually, go ahead and roll damage for me.
5.
Okay, cool. I'm going to say that is enough. You swing to see the part, or you swing at the part where the tree is like just above where it would have stopped meeting the wall. And the way that you've swung at it, you realize that the tree itself is pretty weak. That you kind of rip through it fairly easily. So there's just a chunk taken out of this tree now. But where you were kind of on the downswing a little bit, it cracks away at part of the wall. And anybody that can actively see you make this swing, make an Arcana check for me. Including
While they do that, is this
if you
the
want.
part where the wall stops, quote unquote?
Yes.
Is Pancake tall enough to reach that, or is it above him?
Yes, Pancake is tall enough to reach that.
21.
Cool.
25.
Cool.
21 as well.
Cool.
You guys got it.
So as Jovi is swinging the mace to hit this tree, you're like, obviously, this is the answer. Like, I just got to bust it open at this point. Who knows? The other three of you, which it makes a lot of sense for Eden especially to understand what's happening now, but also for Tansy and also for Athilde, who has been out to grant wishes before and things like that. You all realize that the inside of this tree is magically protected, not materially protected. So when Jovi went to swing, broke the part of the tree that is material, which is the top part, and the bottom part is not necessarily the wood that you see in front of you, as you see little bits of like blue and purple magic that seem to dissipate where Jovi has hit, where the tree and the wall meet together.
Anybody tell me that? Either out loud or via message.
No.
I get it at this point.
I'm tempted to cast. I do have Dispel Magic. Tempted to cast Dispel Magic. I think. Well, I can only do one thing at a time. So, I'm just gonna say, hold on tight, and yeah, I think I will try casting Dispel Magic.
Perfect. Jovi, I need an athletics roll as this happens.
I did cast Featherfall on myself.
Oh, yes, you did. Okay, no, never mind. I don't need that then. You cast Featherfall. You're good. As you see Athilde cast Dispel Magic, the sort of facade of wood that is on the back portion of this tree, directly across from the door, is also the shape that sort of mimics the shape of the door that you came through. It's sort of curved. It takes up a large part of the trunk. Directly opposite it, a hole opens in the wall where wood once was. And you all can climb in. You see just sort of this narrow hallway that looks like tile floors, stone, like really nice stone and brick, like inlay in the walls. They have these small windows that each have a candle in them. Like, this certainly was a man-made hallway that you've now uncovered because you used Dispel Magic.
As you land,
And
just be like,
she cast Featherfall on herself, so even though she falls slowly, she does kind of land on her back in like a very defeated, like, that was so much easier than I made it out to be.
Well, you still made it out.
Yeah.
That's worth something.
this is like on the job training. You know, you're fine. Tansy, after you. I'll just gesture.
Okay. Yeah. And Tansy and Pancake go through first.
Perfect.
Is it dark in here?
The hallway itself is pretty dark. Yeah, the windows only have moonlight coming through them, so it's not a ton back here as you all start to go in the tree trunk down through the hallway, down to just this like a pretty simple looking door. It's just it's arched like many of the other ones you've seen here, with a tiny window in it with a grate over it, some metal detailing, a big handle, no keyhole or anything like that, just a door.
Try to open it with Mage Hand.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, shall we summon the power?
That's 4 pounds. 4 mage hands.
You summon the power of friendship, and your 4 mage hands all come together. They open the door sort of in tandem. 2 of them grab the handle, only because it's not big enough for all 4 of them to grab it, and start to wrench it open, and the other 2 go to the other side and help push the door open. It seems a little heavy for them maybe, but not by much. As you all leave the tree trunk, the door shutting behind you, and the message coming back up that said never look back, that you the only 2 of you saw and the other 2 never did. And as you all look through this doorway, you see what you're pretty sure is the power source. It's ginormous. This room is 1,000 times bigger than you thought it would even need to be, and this still takes up a lot of the room. It's big hunks of metal. Some places on it look like furnaces. Some places look like random pipes that lead to other places. There are large metal boxes with dials and gears and things like that, and you're not really sure how any of it works, but it seems powered off. There are no gears turning. There is nothing that seems like a fire. There are no sounds of any kind, and any sort of like grate or opening looks black inside. It does not have any light. The only other real things in this room are the stained glass windows that line 2 of the walls. You can see them pretty clearly. They're really intricate and ornate, each one a different color of the rainbow with a different symbol. The red is a heart, the orange has a hand open on it, the yellow has like a sunset sort of emblem in it, so on and so forth, all the way until you get to purple. So there are 7 of them in total. You also see a large statue of a man. It's stone, completely just like weathered gray stone. But he is in a heroic sort of position, hands on his hips in fists. He has a large sword, nice looking armor that has sort of this heart inside of it that seemed like it was engraved there. He's got a larger beard. His helmet is off and like tucked in his arm. And there's a like plaque on it with some other additional little things here and there. And I will say, if you look up to the ceiling, it is a glass dome where you can see the night sky and you can see the moon and the stars above you. It doesn't feel like you've been in here for very long, but based on the position of the moon, you must be in here over half the night already.
Ithilde will turn to Tenzi and Eden and go, okay, engineers, fix it. You're up. And like tap you each on the shoulder and give you bardic inspiration and just walk over to check out the statue.
Beautiful.
She's done.
Can I cast Detect Magic specifically to see if there's any active magic that is happening?
Yeah.
That's not the gears or anything like that?
Absolutely. You cast that, and there's magic all over this room. All sorts of different types, a lot of it being on the machine itself. Different areas have a higher concentration of magic than others, you would guess, because this is a true collaboration between mechanics and magic. Some places really do operate off of like physics and chemistry, like for different parts of it, whatever sort of applicable, but other parts of it are just pure magic. You also see a lot of magic on the statue of the man and a bit at the base of every one of those stained glass windows.
Interesting. Can the windows open? Are the windows closed? Like,
They are closed. If you just from looking at them, it doesn't seem like they open though. They seem very much like a traditional stained glass window, like what you would find in like a school or a church or whatever.
mm-hmm.
Can I investigate the machinery?
Yeah, absolutely. Make an investigation check for me. And I'm gonna say that you can roll that with advantage because of your sort of knowledge of like other parts of the wells and how they work.
Okay. Ooh, natural 19 plus, what is it? Investigation? 7, 26.
Yeah, cool. You recognize that a lot of the different sort of pipes and things like that go up toward the ceiling and disappear into the ceiling. That other parts of it where it looks like the furnace part and things like that, like they remind you of different things you've had to fix in the head offices, and you wonder if they work in a similar way, in which when it has enough of the substance that it runs off of in front of it or in the room with it or in the vicinity or whatever, that it will just suck it up and take care of it itself. So whatever supply it's supposed to have isn't directly here, or it would be powering itself on.
Okay. And would I have any idea of what that would be, or?
It definitely doesn't run on anything that you have readily available. You know that it can't be a renewable resource that you would have to stock yourself, because Clementine said no one's been down here in forever, and that it was built so no one had to come down here. So it couldn't be anything like coal or wood or like traditional fuel sources, unless it was something dropped in from the pipes that go through the ceiling. But you feel like it's probably got to be simpler than that. Like it's not, because if it was, someone would know they needed to go drop more in it.
Right. Okay. I relay that to everyone out loud with my voice. Anyone have any ideas what it could be?
Is my detect thoughts still up?
Yep.
And if it's not, I'll cast it again.
Yeah, I'll say it's still up, and the sort of thoughts that you could hear are louder. Still kind of mumble jumbled, but like not nearly as bad. You can figure out at least that whatever thoughts that the creature is having that you can hear, they're trying to be helpful. It's just that you're getting like random directions and not really sentences or explanations, but like sometimes you get orange, left, blue, up, things like that.
Okay.
As I walk over
share
to
that.
as I walk over to the statue and kind of look at this plaque.
The plaque itself is inscribed with Roy G. Biv, the first leader of the Wishing Network.
Amazing.
I think I have that written down.
That is
The last note I wrote down was Roy G. Biv.
You can see
That was good.
around the plaque, there are little empty spaces that it looks like you could put something there. But you don't see anything like readily available. They're all different shapes and sizes, so it's not like a uniform thing.
I'm gonna walk over to the red window.
Cool.
And see, is there anything else in the stained glass design, or is it just a heart? Or is the heart something different?
So there's a heart in the middle, sort of with this white sunburst coming out of it. The heart is red, and then the background is red. You see that all of the sunbursts lead all the way out to the edges of the window, except the ones at the bottom all lead out to the edges and then meet at the bottom, sort of making like a stripe there.
Okay, so the things come out and they make like a oh, okay, I get it. I'm gonna mage hand. I'll try like the middle of the heart first, just kind of like poke, touch, pull, anything. And then if not, I'll go down to where they all meet.
Yeah, your mage hand starts to like poke around, and while it doesn't get anything with the heart, when it hits the stripe at the bottom, it opens like a mail slot, and your mage hand can grab something inside and pull it back out.
Yeah,
and it's just a small scroll tied with a red ribbon. And as you open it, a small red jewel is folded up in the scroll, and it itself says, for every wish that's granted, more joy comes alive.
I'm gonna do an intelligence check, just to be fair, to see if I would maybe put together
Go for it.
the jewel and the thing you know, just to be fair.
Yeah.
I think Jovi starts muttering wishes to see if it's the same as the first puzzle.
Your wishes do not do anything, it seems, at least. The jewel itself seems to just be normal. It's just a normal little ruby.
I'll come over and just go, oh, that's pretty. And then watching what you just did, I only got a 5, so we're not putting this together yet. Watching what you just did, I will take my mage hand and I will poke the same area on the orange one and see.
So the orange, as you see, it's like this outreached hand in the middle with sort of like a similar sunburst effect. And as your mage hand reaches into the mail slot at the bottom, it pulls out a similar scroll with an orange ribbon. You unwrap it, and an orange gem falls out that says, on the scroll itself, it says, "The joy that you bring with every wish granted means another kid smiles that day."
Do we know
wave
these
it
words? Like, is this like the motto? Like, is this like what's inside the handbook? Like, is there a poster of Roy G. Biv somewhere that's like, you know?
I feel like I'm gonna say yes. Did I plan that? No, but I'm going to say yes anyway. I think all of the things that are on these little scrolls are things that you have either heard throughout your time, like that have been in the training book, or are engraved in some place important.
Statue
on
portraits,
site, like statues, portraits, the main office, maybe one even in the medical building, like the main warehouse, like all of those places, the places where people are working the most and need the most reminders of like a hard day spells happiness for someone else, and that's why we do the work we do, that sort of thing.
With that, instead of doing a straight intelligence check, because it's not going to go well, can I either do like history or insight?
You absolutely can.
Just like waving the scroll, like Eden, Tansy, we need your hands. We need your hands.
Okay. Tansy goes and does that with the yellow one, I guess.
Yeah, the yellow one you see has this beautiful sunset on it, and as your mage hand reaches through the slot, pulls out another scroll, yellow ribbon, and a yellow jewel falls out. This one a little bit bigger, in a different shape, but says something that Tansy has actually seen over and over and over again, because Tansy's workshop overlooks the place where the sun sets every day in the wells, and inscribed in the wall at Tansy's says every helping hand brings a bit of joy to someone's heart.
Did you want history or insight?
Either one is totally fine. I'm going to make that your call.
That's a 24 insight, and I'm going to use one of those plus ones to make it a 25 because it makes me happy.
Perfect. Yeah, you put together pretty well that while it's not something you've seen a ton of, because there's not a ton of reasons for you to be in the main office building unless you're going to see Clementine for one emergency or another. In the main lobby of that building are a bunch of portraits of different leaders of the Wishing Network with like one of their best wishes they ever granted or greatest achievements or whatever. And in Roy's portrait, he has all 6 of these gems in like a sort of square shape, on a pendant on his jacket, which is notably missing from the statue.
Do I remember what order they were in?
They're in rainbow order. So it starts in upper left with red and then goes clockwise around the square.
Cool. I'm going to relay that. Do we think this is it? Like, this doesn't feel like a resource. Like, what would have made these go into the pictures if this is, or is this the last puzzle? Or do we... Oh.
No harm in trying.
Whatever. And, like, you see Tenzi's, like, intense training and, like, very by the book kind of, like, new proby FBI agent that's like, oh, things in the field aren't the same way they are in the book. And just takes the heart and goes over and put it in the upper left-hand corner.
And it works. The red starts to sort of glow as it clicks into place. And you all can follow suit with the orange and the yellow if you would like.
Yeah. Gonna do that and then I guess move on to the green window.
Yeah, the green window yields the same. It's a beautiful tree with lush leaves that you pull out the scroll, a gem falls out, and you get a quote on the scroll that says, within the tree of life, joy is needed to grow.
Can we send out the mage hands for the remaining 3?
Yeah, you can, as they all go to scatter to different windows, pull out blue, indigo, and violet, and they each, obviously mage hands can't read, but they will pull the ribbon of their respective color off, unroll the scroll, and grab the gem, which they've realized, like, oh, this is what they need. And they will all go click them all into place. And as the last one goes in the violet, Roy G. Biv comes to life. You see as stone melts away from this man, and he is very much the same man that was in charge of the Wishing Network millennia ago.
I take his pulse.
He has no pulse.
Don't touch! Don't touch!
Someone just came back from the dead. This is huge.
Magic.
That's the one wish we can't grant.
It's true. It is like the only wish in the handbook that they're like, hey, we can do a lot of things, but we can't do that one. Okay, it gets messy. There's like way too much to it. We just can't do it. Just if somebody asks, you just like throw it in the bin, or like you give them a dream about the person or whatever, and we just get them to wish for like a pony instead. Okay, like that's like day one of training, hour one of training, the first thing they ever tell you. And so as this man appears, he steps off of his pedestal, and we'll go, you all don't seem of harm to anything.
Jovi definitely doesn't say anything. She is just like studying this terrifying miracle.
Was someone here trying to harm?
That's why we built this place the way we did, was to keep out those that wish to harm. And he looks over to the machine and says, I assume you are here to try to fix that.
Say ah.
Yes.
I'll point. I'll point to the people who fix things. To Eden and.
Yeah, no one knows how to fix this, but we kind of need to because the power is down.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can see how that would be troublesome to you all. We sort of thought that could be a possibility way back in my day, but I volunteered to retire, as it were, and protect this place in case everything went too badly. Are you in troubling times? Is the world too torn asunder?
Not that I know of. It just seems like there's been a weird influx of wishes today.
Oh.
And then the power went out. That also happened. Still out, I think.
I see. Well, this will turn the power back on, but an influx of wishes would mean that the balance has been unattended, and if the balance is unattended, there isn't enough joy to power it.
People are
How do
making
we
more wishes because they're
attend?
looking for joy.
How do we attend the balance?
You just put some joy in yourselves for now, I suppose, and enough should be, I don't know. It should get you through to when teams can go out, grant some wishes, and then we'll have an organic supply again.
Is that sustainable though? If joy is the source and there's not enough joy, hence there's an influx of wishes because people are trying to create joy, is that pattern just going to continue? Like, can we keep up with the reaching that it seems to take people now to get to joy? It seems like it's much harder for people to feel joy now than it was maybe when you started all of this, because why else would there be just a random influx of wishes and not joy?
I assume, granted, I've been granite for however many years now.
I've been granted.
But I assume that people are having trouble finding the joy in the everyday. It's the little things that make us get up in the morning, right? The sun shining through the window, the person you love saying hello, the fact that you're here for another day to do something good if you work here, and hopefully something good if they work out there too. But there were a lot of times when I was in charge when people had trouble with that too. It sometimes takes reminders, especially when the world seems a little bleak, or when something is troubling you quite greatly. But there are times that joy can be found in the smallest of places. That's what keeps it powered here. It's not big acts of, the greatest day of your life. It's just, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to say hello. I'm happy to look at the smile of a child who just got the toy that they really wanted, or to go live out someone's dream. Just every tiny bit is what helps here. Even a spark of joy can power the wells for a long time.
How do we put our joy in until the teams can get out in the morning?
You just talk about it.
Jovi will plop the backpack down in front of her and dig for a minute. She's not 100% sure what she's looking for, but then she will pull out a giant, like way too big, way too heavy, taking up way too much room ear thermometer, and realize this is one of the things that her sister put in there when she opened those cabinets and plopped all of the random extra medical supplies in there. And she's like, she was trying to take care of me. She wanted me to have everything I possibly could to be prepared because she knew she wouldn't be there to protect me. And I think just laughs and is gonna, just kind of as a symbolic piece, put the ear thermometer near whatever piece it kind of looks like needs to be charged or juiced or whatever.
As you say that and you place it there, the smallest of lights flashes in one of the grates. That in this place, it sort of looks like a furnace, but you see purple light just pulse for a second. A couple of the pipes make weird noises, like they're trying to gather up everything in the furnace before it goes back out again. Like a pop and a hiss and a couple of things scraping together before the light dims itself again.
You know, in the medical field, there's this weird place where magic and science meets. And I was never very good at the science stuff, but the magic part I got. And I swear, sometimes we would have people that weren't going to make it or shouldn't have made it. And someone that they love would come see them. Or they'd scry on their baby niece and listen to her laugh. Or we'd let their dog come in. And at first, everyone was like, there's no science behind that. My grandma was so skeptical, but it works. The joy is the magic, is the healing. And I think Jovi will just sit down, cross her legs, put a little bit more lavender oil on her wrists, and just kind of smile and stare at the ear thermometer and make space for everybody else to speak their joy.
I think Ithilde is a little uncharacteristically quiet here and just looks at our two engineer mechanic fixits and waits.
Waits patiently. I think Eden smiles a little bit and is like, I guess now we're all like in a circle. Our cute little gear-based circle, I guess. And she keeps smiling and she's like, well, I do a lot of work mostly behind the scenes, just to ensure that when things are wrong, they can be fixed. Not as opposed to coming across a entirely new problem that so on and so forth. But I think it was really nice to get outside again and actually go out and do things that involved leaving the offices. I fear every time I'm there, I'm either doing work or I'm seeing Pearl absolutely lose her mind. But there's also joy in that too, I think. And like being able to do the work every day and have fun doing it. I don't think there's ever been a day where I've come in and sad about the work that I do. I mean, surely there is some sadness when you cannot grant a child's wish, or even an adult's wish, but I think there's just joy in existing.
And with that, as you say, I think there's just joy in existing. The light comes back on in the furnace and things get a little louder. More of the pipes are doing more of the work as it tries so hard to pump that joy in and out through everything. You see like liquids going from one container into another. You see lights coming on in weird places. Some gears start to turn, and it's slow, but it's there.
Tansy is gonna take out her phone and she's gonna look through the photos on her phone. There's photos of her and Pancake doing silly things, making things explode by accident. There's photos of her and her mom teaching her how to fix things, how to build things, how to tinker. There's photos of her and Cookie. Cookie just kind of like hanging out on her shoulder, on her head while she's doing different things around the house. And she says, for me, I think my joy comes from the people and spiders and automatons that I love, and also from sharing with them the things that I like doing and the things that I like making. There's joy in figuring out how two pieces fits together, and there's a joy in sharing that discovery with someone. And that's, when my mom adopted me and she taught me how to fix things, and she took me to all of these nooks and crannies in the wells where things needed fixing, because things always need fixing. And she taught me that joy of seeing something broken no longer be broken. And she taught me the joy of seeing two parts become something more than their sum. And mechanical things are like that, but people are like that too. Society is like that, right? A family is more than the sum of the people in it. A town is more than the sum of the people in it. The wells are more than the sum of the people in it. And that's a sort of magic, and that's a sort of joy.
And as you say all of that and you have this sense of community and you look through all of these pictures and think about the building of things, the building of community and the building of hope and the building of joy in everything around you, the furnace glows even brighter, starting to shake even with the amount of joy that it's now trying so as quickly as possible get through all of the parts of the machine it has to be able to power the wells. The gears start to get a bit faster. Steam comes out of some of the pipes, and you would even be worried for a second with how fast it's starting to go if it wasn't for Roy standing there and just nodding, knowing that you are doing the right thing, that he has seen this before, and that he knows what it's like when the machine gets powered up and you're doing the right thing.
I think Ithilde has a proud mama face on, just looking around at the friends, and she puts her hand to her hip and pulls around a small, very unassuming set pan pipes, pan flute, And she just says, you know, believe it or not, I've been around for 400 years. And I've seen some things in my day. But this was the first thing that let me do magic. And she'll just take the pan flute and put it to her lips and just start playing a very sweet, simple tune. And as she does, she closes her eyes, and in the oldest, literal first trick she knew how to do, use her prestidigitation to make it look like the constellations on her skin are coming off and swirling around her, and send that into the air.
As you do, the furnace reaches a crescendo. It is so loud and booming and shaking as you see the light of pure joy light the center of this machine and send it off in so many directions. The liquid that's moving through these small tubes trying to get things around has to work double time as gears shift and belts stretch so far you're afraid that they'll break, but they don't, as the bits and pieces go through every pipe and almost clang around in that sort of cartoon style, going through the ceiling. And in the final moment, as the machine is finally whirring back to life, you all feel that light feeling, that like warm, radiant hug that some of you know is a wish granted, and some of you have felt for the first time today. And before your very eyes, like it is something straight in front of your vision, even though you know all this has to be in your head because not all of this could fit in this room. You see the flashes of faces of children and adults alike whose wishes have been granted by the Wishing Network from all of the years past and all of the years to come, as every smile flashes before you for a new toy or a trip or a family to love or any of those things that you all have been able to figure out one way or another, even when the network would say things like, we've never granted a wish like that before, we don't know how. Somehow all of it has worked just to be able to go find this joy. You all look up, and the glass dome in the ceiling, you see the sunrise and know that you've been in here all night long, and that kids and adults are just starting to wake up everywhere and have their wishes for the things that they dreamed about through the night, the things that they hoped for. And before you can even turn back to say anything, Roy is already back on his pedestal, is already turning back to stone. And all he says is, I did my job. Thank you for doing yours. And you guys are done. You have accomplished your mission. The Wishing Network goes on. The wells have power back. And as you all reach the main office building again, everybody is bustling around, granting wishes. Teams are being sent out left and right. Jovi has come back just in time to meet the leader of her new adventuring party and is ready to go to grant some wishes. Clementine steps out, just says, thank you. I knew that if anybody could do it, it would be the four of you. And Pearl walks out from behind her with the clipboard and looks at Eden and says, I don't really know what you did, but thanks. I feel a lot better, and also I'm taking tomorrow off.
I think Eden just smiles. She's very happy for that. Pearl needed a day off.
With that, our adventure's all done. That's the Wishing Network. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I had a whole plan for combat, but because we were running short on time, it was gonna be Roy. You were gonna fight Roy. If you like did something wrong, or if it seemed like things were taking too long, and he was like, the sun was going to come up, like his thing is like, I'm supposed to protect it. But you all caught the rainbow puzzle, and I was like, great, we don't have to fight anybody. Because also combat takes a long time in D&D, but someday I'll run combat in D&D on stream. It just won't be tonight. And thank you guys for letting me go over a little bit. I swear, one day, timing, I'll be good at it. But we still got through all 5 puzzle rooms, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope the audience enjoyed. Thank you guys so much again for all your donations. We hit over $100, which, like, I wasn't sure what to put as the goal, so I was like, $100 for 3 games feels pretty safe, and we beat it in 1. So we'll get back to that, and we'll talk more about donations in a second. But first, I'd really like for you all to go follow all of my very talented new friends, to go check out what they're doing, who they are, where they've been, what they'll do next, all the things. So we're going to go in a circle, same order as before, and remind everybody who you are and let them know where they can find you, because you're pretty great. I had an awesome table tonight, and it's been so much fun. So thank you guys for diving into my shenanigans. And we'll go with Heather first.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I think as the camera fades, you see Athilde put an arm around Pearl and pull out the potion of bonding and just be like, let's talk about how you could use this, and just walks off. But I'm Heather Silva, everybody. Thank you so much for having me tonight. You can find me on all socials at Worlds for All. It's the number 4. It's the name of my company that I run, where we just play TTRPGs, mostly in person, but I am on startplaying.com or .games as well, so please look me up there. And just really grateful to be a part of this and get to play in these Roll for Wishes games. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Deejay, it's your turn.
Oh my gosh, it's me. Hi, I'm Deejay. This is a really fun game. You can find me on Instagram and everywhere else you can find TTRPG shows at Hip Point Hall. We are actually going live this Thursday at 7 p.m. for our second episode of Season 5, Supernova. It's a super galactic competition show, and we have some amazing DMs running it, and an amazing cast. So if you're willing to tune in, we're live on YouTube at Emerson Channel, and we are also live on Twitch at Emerson Channel.
Perfect. And Rose?
Hi, I'm Rose. Apart from occasionally playing D&D on stream, I also am a dark fantasy author, and you can find out more about my books at YRLU. If you like Google that, or at yrlu.com. Also works. That's about it.
That's perfect. And you all also saw the little preview for one of Rose's books in the starting soon in BRB thing, and it'll come back for the ending screen for a couple minutes after we're done. And then we'll go to Nat, who's, first of all, let me just thank Nat, because she was willing to jump into this table last minute after we'd had the session 0 and everything, and was like, I'll play. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. It's sweet. Let's go. And immediately made a character, had everything ready. And I was like, you're a superhero for just jumping in. So thank you. And please tell the people about you, because you're wonderful.
Yeah, I don't normally do things last minute. I'd be irresponsible. Hi, I'm Nat. You can find me all over the internet at Nat20Wife, primarily on TikTok and Instagram. You can also find me over on the Roll D5 Twitch, where we play exclusively very small creator indie games. You can also find me next Tuesday over on the Logomancy channel. Doing more Roll for Wishes. We are going to be Peter Pan's lost kiddos, because gender's not a thing. Lost kids, and we're looking for Hook's treasure. So I'm very excited about that one. And that is at oh man, I even wrote it down. It's either at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern.
I think 8. We're in it together. I think it's
8. Oh, I wrote it down. It's 8. Next Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, Logomancy, Lost Kids.
There you go. And then there's me. Hi, I'm Mallorie. You can find me anywhere the internet may have to offer you at MoxxieBlue, MoxxieBlue. I run this place, and we're going to have 2 more Roll for Wish streams this month. First one of the two-parter is tomorrow. So it is a Call of Cthulhu game that is actually the scenario that was written exclusively for Gen Con this year. I was one of Chaosium's GMs for Gen Con. I ran this game for them, and I said, hey, I know this was technically a Gen Con exclusive, but would you mind if I ran it for charity? And they were like, yeah, sure, go for it. Like, you have our blessing. Please go run all the things. And I was like, great. So I have a wonderful, wonderful cast. Zach, otherwise known as SneakerNet Music, the Noir Enigma, Emily Graymore, and Michael Saltzman as Saltzman from Dropout, that used to be the actually fact checker. They're going to come play Call of Cthulhu with me for the next 2 weeks. We actually have our session 0 for that game right after I'm done here. And I'm going to run them through one of my favorite systems to run, because I just really love horror games. And I took off my horror game hat for this to be like, hi, I can run lighthearted things, but starting tomorrow, I'm putting people through their paces again. It's time to do some nightmares. And there will be incentives there too if you want to come along and come watch. The game is called Old One Sing, and it is all taking place at a New Year's Eve party in 1923. So we'll see if they can make it out alive then. Otherwise, I'll be here for some play and process here pretty soon. And you can find me floating around the internet in some random places, including over with Noir Enigma in Noir Bowl, which you saw also in the previews earlier. My episodes have not premiered yet, so I cannot tell you who I play, but I can tell you I love them very much, and they're one of my very favorite characters I've ever created. So I'm really excited for you all to see her however long she survives, which, judging by what we've recorded so far, will probably be a while. In the meantime, again, thank you so much for every single donation. We truly appreciate it. Every single penny goes to Make-A-Wish. And actually, I think because we hit over $100, the campaign as a whole has now hit over $10,000. Because we were at like 9,964 earlier. So I think we've broken $10,000, which is awesome. It runs across multiple channels with so many creators for the rest of November. Please feel free to go check them out. Logomancy has been organizing the whole thing, and like, it is all over the socials. Roll for Wishes, just any tweet with that, all of that goes to benefit Make-A-Wish. In the meantime, hope to see you back here tomorrow. But for now, love yourself, take care of each other, and go have a super magical adventure. We will see all of you later. Bye-bye.
Page anti-5.
Page anti-5.
Yeah.